All right, this is a test or a test to see if I am up and running. I am streaming. There we go. Futures last day. I don't know. That sounds a little ominous. I don't know. We're going to stick with that. I guess we'll stick with it. Excuse me while I whip this out. There we go. The stream. The stream. Started there. We're started there. All right, we're up and running. Sweet. It's on. It's on like Dig Dug, not Donkey Kong. Anybody remember? Well, back in the day, up already about 4,500. Make sure I protect that capital. Guess I could call it a day. Where we at? So I already did pre-market, already shared that. Now we do have, there's opportunity maybe to do a participation trade here on a fade. Only allowed 2 fade trades today that don't go in my favor. So meaning that I'm allowed to fade twice as long as the fade trades work out and I follow the plan. Otherwise, fade trades are off the table for me. So this fade trade here is using the strong level that's been developed early in the market. And the other thesis for this trade is on the NDX, we are testing the RDA. So that is held, at least intermittently, on the, I don't know, I thought I'd use the word intermittently, on our chart 2. So that's what we're trading, the NQ. Where are we at here? Other than that, yesterday, pretty upset about my trading yesterday, but we'll focus on readjusting. Yesterday's over. Can't do anything about it other than learn from it. All right. Right now we're up about $4,600. We got one more entry here on the level check. I'll do one more entry a little bit below that. We'll do a total of 4 lots on this trade. And then it's either going to work out in our direction or we're going to get out. So what I'll do is I will put a protective stop right around here. 54. I probably don't want to do 54 lots yet. Right there. Okay, not there, dude. Right there. Early fade. Doesn't seem to be working out yet. We look at the internals. Let's see if we can look at the internals and see if they can give us any early clue of what the market might be doing. We are below. Are we below the 0 line? Yeah, we're below the 0 line. Big tech is kind of in the middle of 10-day rolling VWAPs. Did hold the 10. Hold this level. Do have a VWAP test as far as a daily VWAP test. Everything's momentum short. All right, I'll get out of this trade. Actually, I'll give it one more opportunity to tag the level. So, tags that level. Well, it almost tagged the level. Didn't pick me up, though. That's fine. There we go. Look at that. Oh. Starting to work out in our favor a little bit. We do have an RDA test here on. That's what happens when you have too many windows. Don't know what you're opening when you're opening. Once again, it is a fade trade, so we do expect a reaction there at the RDA, which we did get. Yeah. Ah. Okay. Damn it. I woke up fine without this fucking ear shit. And now it's bothering me again. Okay. I think it went away. Only thing that bothers me. I'm also active in Discord as far as voice streaming for zero latency. Or for low latency, I should say. As far as anything else on the board, we're still watching CL. We got a NatGas report, or did we have that already go out? Not gas, but the petroleum status reports at 10:30 Eastern. Screw you, stupid chart. So thing didn't move. Actually, it did what it's supposed to do. It reacted at the zone. So we've got, let's remove all of our levels. Let's reset our levels so that we can reset the day. Or not reset the day, but just kind of get back on track where our levels are. So we got a level right there at 956 or so. Key level. We've got an interesting level developing here, right around 980. And really there's no trade right here other than maybe the long and I was already in that and I got out. It's because it didn't cooperate. We were fading the move. We don't have a confirmation that it's actually going to move up. The one trade was basically down here calling the bluff. If I had a better entry on that, I probably would have stayed in. It was only for 2 lots, but you know, we're in the middle of a range. Thing is, if it breaks down there, what does the chart tell us? Well, we've obviously got a level. I've already shared the pre-market. This is filling the gap. So obviously it doesn't want to fill the gap. So let's not get too aggressive on the short. Let's call a bluff that it's going to fill the gap, but maybe it will. So we'll do a couple entries there. That's our entries there on NQ. Got about 2 minutes left in this 5-minute candle. It's going to go down. It's probably going to tag I'd say 785 on the NDX and then rip up from there. So if we look and see where it's at comparatively to the weekly open, you know, it's down from the weekly open roughly about 233, about 2%. So, you know, almost 2%, I should say. Okay, well, did short that. We'll put in a trailing stop just to protect the position, just above entry. Probably get knocked out here, but what we'll look for is maybe get picked up back on a momentum check. Did get knocked out of that trade. We're basically looking to... Now the question is on that, was that just a fake break on the level test there? So was that a fake break here on that level? Do have buyers stepping up. Got retail probably buying the dip, thinking that the Fed's going to protect them. Then pretty much the market's going to destroy everybody. Good day. How you doing? All right, there we go. Boom. I should have stayed in the short. New momentum checks. Ugh. Ow. Ah, my ear. Friggin' hurts. Ah, look at that. We're going to call the bluff on that, so it might be rising up here pretty quick. So we'll be around that level. I don't like the fact that that level held. Little bastard. Yeah. Ah, my fucking ear. Dude. Friggin' ear. Yeah, that level's gonna hold. RDA test there. Chart 2. Ah! Pissing me off. So two side effects I do not appreciate is the least way of me saying it. I don't like the way that the longs are stepping up here. It is getting a little volatile. But should have entered there at the momentum check. Momentum did shift briefly, or it is shift. I mean, it's kind of in a changeover state on the small tick. So, chart 2. So we'll see there. Okay. Guess we can wait for Big Tech to do a momentum check. Trading with momentum, everything's momentum short, bias short, but it is at a kind of an interesting zone. Sorry. I'm dealing with side effects of my treatment. It's really starting to piss me off. Damn it. The more that this holds, the more that I need to get out. Terrible entry there. Would have been good entry if it would have actually continued to sell off, but this time I should just put trailing stops in. Not put trailing stops above the RDA. I'll cancel all. And then, fuck you. Yeah. Might just rip up here. Okay, I'm not showing the screen. Apologize. All right, break that level, or break. We've got an intermediate level here at 666. Break or 66 spot 75. Breaks that level, then probably it's going to continue to go down. If it does break that level, it's trying to hold momentum pretty hard. Close above the RDA, then I probably want to get out, obviously, on chart 2. Just in this little dumb range where buyers are still stepping up. They don't want to actually go down to the next level, obviously. We look at the underline. I'll be looking at the underline here in a little bit. There we go. It's moving in the direction we want it to, finally. All right, let's see if this is going to be the next wave down. Can look at that move, obviously, as some stops being hit. Be the way to look at it. But we obviously have this level on the downside, 959, which is key. If it breaks 959, then I anticipate it's going to go down to the next level. Next level on the index right around is 801 on the index. Once again, I'm charting the index. I'm not charting. I'm obviously trading the NQ, but I'm charting the index for the actual pattern. You know, the NQ, it's hard to say exactly where the zone is, but all right, momentum shifted over briefly. Little bastard. Stupid buyers. Like last week, I was mad at the buyers because I went with them. This time, I'm just not mad at them. I'm just like, guys, just give up. Let it go to the next level. There you go. See? Just let it go to the next level. It's where it wants to go, man. Just let it go. Buy the dip. Trust the Fed. I didn't share this on the stream yesterday. I shared it. Where did I share it? I think I was doing voice. You know, the stress test that the Fed did is just completely bogus. So all these banks, you know, that said that they're solvent and that they can weather the storm. Well, it's all BS. I mean, it's always, most of the time it's BS. But if you look, you can read the Fed's stress test that they did. They didn't, if you read the stress test, if you actually read it, they didn't test for rising inflation, almost out of control inflation, and rising interest rates, which pretty much they created. So the latest Fed test of the major banks of whether or not they would storm or they would make it through a economic catastrophe of their own creation, by the way, isn't even valid. The test is not valid. Now, of course, the only people that believe that, I don't know who believes it. Obviously the press. And then the normie people, I guess you would say. Ah, fuck you, little asshole. Stop. All right, well, stopped out. All right, false break of that level. Longs picked up. You know, that behavior there is not what that behavior. So I'm going to say something, but I don't know because I obviously don't know if that's what's happening in the market. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to explain what I just saw there. That behavior there is stops being hit. And then as the stops are being hit, then people are adding to the buys. Should have added there. I should have went long. All right, I think my ear stuff's cleared up finally. Yeah, I saw that in real time and I just didn't click buy quick enough. But we got another opportunity to short. Probably want to wait for the daily open, I would assume. So it's going to go retest the daily open. So pull back on a buy there. I saw that move and I didn't friggin' execute. So mad about that. Especially with that little stall behavior. A little, what the hell, dude? Get out of my way. All right. Let's look at the other charts. GC is kind of in the zone. Like I mentioned, we missed the best entry for GC. So we play the level. We trade the level. Got a level on GC right, possibly developing right around 2018. I did share that pre-market. I shared the zone pre-market. So that is an overshoot. That is a overshoot of the RDA. That is a RDA extreme band. My entries are on chart 2. The control for this trade would be the possible developing level at 2017.7. That's my thesis for the trade. And the 60, obviously the 60. We got a break of the RDA. Fucking A. Not trading with the market. I need to just focus on the market. Stop talking to you guys. Trade the market. All right. So where we're at here, we'll see if we get picked up on a pullback here. I don't want to get too aggressive on that pullback because it is still a fade trade. We do have a momentum check that's unfolding right now on the NQ at 990. So that's what's happening. But it's going for the daily open. So it's pretty freaking obvious that it's going for the daily open. So there we go. Did get part of that trade. Little bastard. barely let me get on that trade. The buyer's going to step up. Now the question is, if they recapture the daily open, which they have, screw you. If they recapture the daily open, are they going to hold the daily open? And did they do what they wanted to do, which is basically, okay, we're going to fill the lower gap and then we're going to go up. That's look like what these little child buyers want to do. So here we go. Recapture the daily open, and then we've got another gap. Obviously, the gap created today. So, kind of the play is don't get too aggressive because we don't know when they want to fill the upward gap. But the buyers obviously have some appetite. Obviously, they want to be dip buyers. Did get picked up on that GC trade just initially there. We'll do the next entry right at the level, right below the level, and then what we'll do, well, the level hasn't formed yet, so I'll just share that from a perspective of trading that. The level was a little the level wasn't formed yet, so that's not actually a level. So I don't know what I'm doing there, son. Oh, that's not even a level. I assume when the index hits 190 or 920, that's going to be our sign of selling. Fuck. Didn't add to there. Oh, bastard. My ear again, dude. I might have to just stop the stream. I can't do this. I can't talk. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Piss me off. RDA check. Dude, I might have to restart too anyways, just because the latency here is just terrible. Not terrible, but RDA check. We'll see if this works out. And then GC, we're looking to go long there. We are short in the NQ. If we go long, we'd probably want to go long here, right around 990. Trying to give up the weekly open again, or the day open. Long, RDA check and chart 2. Pretty obvious trade. Pretty obvious. All right, we got no one. I guess no one wants to communicate today. P&L wise, where we at P&L wise? 4,600. In one lot, once again, I didn't have high confidence in this trade. We're up only in one lot on the GC too, about $200 or $150. I should have added a little bit more in that pullback there. What I'm really watching for is, what did I get filled on? What the hell? How did I get knocked out of that? Yeah, something's weird going on here. I turned on that before. I don't know how I got knocked out of that. I was actually, unless I, oh, you know what? I had a position in. Damn it. All right. Not quite yet. Sell isn't quite yet. Sell is probably up here. We got 2 sell zones here on the NQ. Probably really frustrating for most. Oh! Freaking ear, man. Oh my God, my ear. This is so annoying. Fuck. All right. There we go. You know, this is stupid with Tradeovate. This is one thing that's really stupid, is that their tool drawing tool is the same tool, is the same click. So left click to draw tools is the same click for order entries. Stupid design. Like I said, this is how I know these tools aren't really built by traders. And the actual people that build the tools don't actually use them to trade. That's how I know for a fact, because they wouldn't design a tool like that with the same tool you use to draw is your same tool that you use to interact with orders on the chart. You know, it's just clear that these people don't actually use their own tool. They don't actually listen to their users. I went on a whole tirade yesterday about what's the word I'm looking for? Interesting. You know, there's no point in trading the ES if you're trading the NQ. All right, so the question is it going to do the full gap fill? I mean, our short area is the RDA on the index. And I didn't get picked up on this. I was on the long, but for some reason I got out. Not for some reason, but up about $400 on that GC trade. I don't know, you know, charts momentum short. That's kind of a fade trade. What is a fade trade? I don't know what kind of. The problem, not the problem. 2008 is really kind of the level when you want to go long around that zone for GC. So GC, it's about 2008. Oh. Yeah, so yesterday I did share why, you know, I would share. I'll do a video on this eventually, but my big why on why you know, I don't know, some people might wonder why I show up and do this every day with kind of the things that's going on in my life. And, you know, successful trader, why do you stream? Why do you do all this? I did a lot of thinking about this recently and just figured out, well, why, you know, is this authentically, number one, the thing you probably need to know about me. Let's look at the charts first. Let me go look at the charts and let's set everything up first. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go around the chart and then I'll go into that. So I'm not trying to detract from that, but so what I'm waiting for, not obviously, is probably around 058. So these zones here on the NQ, we can't see them. Those zones there, I mean, obviously on the 5 minutes, pretty obvious, previous opening range high. So we'll look to get in on a long here for a pullback, for a false pullback for right around here, right around 012 spot 75 and 007. And then we'll do one final entry right here. So that'll be kind of like the 3 entries that we'll do there. If we look at CL, we've got key level down below that is held, and then we've got a key level above, and we're kind of in the middle of it. So best trade on CL is 3 entries right here and a protective stop. So 80 spot 20. Actually, you know what? We got news on CL, so let's not trade CL yet. We have news coming up in about 20 minutes on CL, so let's not trade that yet. So on GC, we're in a trade on GC right now. We'll give it a little bit more room to do a momentum check. We were up about 400. I wouldn't want to enter that until 2008. So if this sells off, where we'd be looking for shorts is right around 2028, with then the thesis of the trade being that it's going to do a daily fast momentum check. That fast momentum check's right around 2008. Where are we at on the actual and NatGas? NatGas is in the middle of its 60-minute range. So really the only trade on NatGas is possibly a short right in this zone right around 21 spot 83. So I'm going to put an entry there. That's where we're at on NatGas. Okay. So now we'll talk about, I get this question every now and then from people like, why do you do, like, we're watching the NQ though too. So why do you do this? Number one, I don't know how else to operate since I've been out of the Army, since I was, I don't know, early 20s. I hate the word entrepreneur. I've been working for myself as in businesses, or I was a consultant for a while. So as far as like some people look and say, I haven't released a lot of content and stuff the last week and a half because I'm working on higher impact scripted stuff and focus. So I'm in a planning stage, but people do ask me a lot, like you seem to have good output or good deliver stuff. I don't know how else to operate. So I would operate at this level regardless if I was streaming or I was even quote unquote out there as a public trader. I would operate from this level of activity. I would just be doing other things. What I would be doing more of is I've shared my first why obviously is family, focusing on that. And then I've started an entertainment company to release stories that I've created throughout the years and work with other creatives to change the entertainment industry to actually tell good stories and just instead of telling garbage. Instead of releasing 40 superhero movies every year, maybe focus on actually stories that matter and impact people's lives. And actually, and I'm not saying that's, but so I looked at that and realized that I wanted to be part of that change. So that's my other why. Now from this perspective, why do I do this? It really comes down to this. I'm convinced I've created something special here. So I'm convinced about it. And the other thing that most people don't know, we're waiting for the short. We're not in any position. We're waiting for the short on the NQ. And we're at the RDA on the index. We've done a gap fill, but I would like to see a little bit overshoot of that gap fill. So I'd like to see it to continue to go up on the index. Obviously, we have the previous day open, or we actually got the NQ open, which is right around 073. So we're gonna wait for this zone. We're gonna wait for this level test. So that's what we're gonna wait for. Not gonna get in front of the trade there. So I'm thoroughly convinced that from a retail trader side or any trader side, if you want a trade system that works well, I know when I first started the training, I overcomplicated teaching it, but now everything new is focused on clarity and focused on making things simplistic, as simple as possible. The trade system I developed is the simplest way to explain it is that it's based on predicting reaction zones and then on the chart. And within 20 seconds, you should be able to see all the top two and the top two from the upside and top two from the downside reaction zones. And we trade patterns and price action. That's what we do. Of course, in my training, it's a combination of, okay, here's the system, here's how to adopt the system, here's the rules of the system, and then there's a bunch of training on here's how to look at the market, because there's aspects of that play a role in being a successful trader. Volatility's, it's slowed down a little bit here, but we're at the RDA right now. I don't want to start this trade early. That's the problem, but it's at the RDA on the index. I've got to do a participation trade here. All right, so we're planning to scale in up to 080 if this doesn't go in our favor. There we go. Volatility picked up. So my why, the other thing that most of you don't know, we got stopped out of that GC trade. We're up about 5,400 for the day. Is that I have people in real life, like family members and people I know. I've got a fair number now that are adopting the system and for various trading levels in their lives. Like people I know, like family and people I know. This isn't official yet. I mean, it pretty much is official, but my nephew Tony's pretty much coming on board full time for this. He's going to be a full-time trader. He hasn't made his 10 green days yet, but he's on the path to it. And then you're going to see him transition in from demo account to becoming a full-time trader. So that's going to happen. So I'm just telling you, it's already happened in the future. We just need to make it happen. So Tony is already, my nephew Elite is already a full-time trader. We just need to do the work to make it happen. So that's, I'm not going to let this trade go against me. I'll just scale in higher. So we'll just take what we can get out of this trade because it's pretty aggressive fade trade. All right, there we go. We got knocked out. We're going to wait for that level test. This is the first reaction of the RDA on the index. So we're not going to get too aggressive on this because we don't know what the appetite the buyers have. So that would be a great entry, obviously, if it does sell off from here. But we've still got 13 minutes to the opening range to end. And I have a feeling that the opening range wants to test some of these highs. The next trade on the table really is here, right around 0.23 and 0.25. So my deep why is number one, I'm passionate about the market. So it's hard for me to actually not trade when the market's open because that I feel is my calling, meaning that I feel like that's what I've not put on the earth to do. I don't feel like I was put on the earth to be a trader, but I feel like that as far as like professionally and making money, this is what I was built for. I was built to be a trader. And then I take just as seriously my training and the commitment of what we're looking for a long there, what I've done, what I built. Yeah. Picking up a bit. What I built and the kind of like the promise I've made with, okay, I'm looking to adopt my system. You're looking to be a successful trader and use my system as the foundation of your system. Well, then I take that just as seriously as I take my own trading and my own responsibility. And I thought about what else would I be doing. So you asked, I asked about my why. An exercise, I've shared this before, and I shared this with my nephew the other day. One of the best exercises that I've done in recent years, or I've done before, is that basically what you do is, let's say you're not happy with your life right now, and you know that you're not, the question I have right now, is it going to hold the RDA in chart 2? So we're in a long, or is it going to come down and retest the day open? That was an RDA test. Didn't do a full gap fill there, but it did do a support and resistance gap fill, what I kind of call a support and resistance gap fill. Our next entry is right at the RDA extreme. I probably should have stayed in that short. Question is, which chart's going to win here? The other thing that looks like is a chart 3, a 60 test of the momentum indicators. And if that holds, then it's going to continue to go down to the next level. So I think we reverse. All right, we're going to go with momentum. I'm going to trade the system. Probably should trade the system that I developed, huh? Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's trade the system. So the exercise that I mentioned is that, so get out a piece of paper and You have no limitations. Money's not a limitation. You have no limitations. So there's no limitations. And what you do is write out your perfect day. Just start writing. Don't put any limitations on yourself. Don't say, oh, that's not realistic or that's not possible. I mean, literally, if you wanted to get up and say, look, I wake up at 10 o'clock a.m. and, my private chef is making me a 5-course breakfast. And, my the person that takes care of my fleet of cars has the Ferrari that I'm going to go out and drive for a half hour. Like, it might sound, like I said, don't have any limitations, and then make sure it's true and authentic to you, meaning that, don't just make up a dream or what you think you would be happy. Actually look inside yourself and say, no, this is actually what I would like my average day to be. Like, I would be completely satisfied and happy. If you have family, it might be, hey, I hang out with my family for an hour and I go do this or whatever it is, right? It could be I get up on my yacht and I do this. Whatever your typical average day would look like. And then once you have that, sit on it for about a day. And then reread it and say, is this authentically true to what I want, my why? And then do a gut check. And this is where it really comes down to reality. Look at that and say, okay, this is my goals. This is what I want. This would be my perfect average day. How much of today, of every day, and we're still short, so we're looking to maybe add, but I'm waiting for a pullback. So we'll call the buff on the pullback, but we are hitting a momentum area here. So I think we want to be protecting this position. So it's hitting at a momentum area. And then obviously if it's going to sell off deeper, it's on the index, it's going to go down to 894. I knew I should have shorted that RDA a little bit harder. Look at that NatGas sell off, man. And then CL is pretty selling off pretty much. Wonder if NatGas or CL, yeah. I don't think we want to get in CL in front of the news here. Anyways, and then ask yourself, okay, how much of what I do daily is moving towards this my perfect day? So I do that exercise every couple of years, or whenever I feel like, hey, I'm straying too far from what I really want in life. And my perfect day doesn't look much different than what I do now. All right, sweet. Awesome. Great day. So Banger said that he's got, 500 P&L? Great day. Going to study for an exam. So my perfect day, the only difference, and it's only just, is that I would be somewhere else than where I'm at right now, living. But the limitation I have is because of certain family situations and obligations, I'm in the location that I'm at. So and that trumps the other reason why I would be somewhere else. So the family, being close to family and a few family obligations that we have that we're kind of, I don't want to say responsible for, but that we're, we want, that are priorities to our lives, is why we're in the location. Other than that, I don't know what I would do with myself if I wasn't trading. I would be writing, but I can't write, nonstop. And then writing doesn't provide enough of a output for me from a creative side, or a logical creative side. So I need an output of logical creation where, like, from a engineer perspective, I guess is the word I would use. I kind of have an engineer mindset a little bit. We're going to go long here. I don't really like the long, but I think that the buyers are going to step up here. We'll see, though. So we're going to put trailing stops just below that level here. See if we get picked up on this other position here. 2 lots. I don't see anything I want to go heavy on until we get higher. I mean, but you know, the question is, tomorrow's a holiday, so you know, what you want to do is think about today as a Friday. Think about today as a Friday that you know, maybe wants to make a statement. Well, what would be the number one statement for today? Recapture the weekly open. So don't get all focused on, okay, you know, someone's been indicted, you know, whatever. I actually checked the news the other day, and I'm like, oh, I missed all this crap. That's why I don't watch the news, because it's all BS. It's all fake. It's all just a play. Everything in the news is just a play. You're just the audience. It's all just, you know, Shakespeare's still alive. Shakespeare's still out there writing plays in modern day. He's using the news media to basically write his plays. That's the way I look at it. So, the day for today, what would be the statement for today? Obviously, a weekly open capture. That would be the statement for the day. So you need to be open to that. So while it, you know, there's a sell-off, you know, it looks like I used to get into this trap. What we see some volatility pick up here. We're going to have the opening range close here. I used to get into this trap of like, oh, who would want to hold stocks or risk over the weekend, long weekend, blah, blah, blah. Don't even consider those thoughts. Don't even care. Just trade the charts. Trade what the charts tell you. That's all. Create a system that's highly effective, that gives you edge, trading the charts, and just trade the charts. So if we're up about 5,400, if we see an opportunity to maybe go a little bit heavier here on this long, we will. There we go. We're getting some volatility. If you're going to trade this, you need to be really kind of prepared for the volatility that might hit. Kind of put your entries at the extremes. You can see I've kind of got two shorts. Okay, Wyatt. Fuck you, dude. I hate trading view sometimes. All right, we look at the daily. Okay, why do I have this chart open up in two links? Waiting to get picked up on the long. We're down about $70 there. We do have another level here that we need to be aware of, so I probably should look at that other level. I want to get picked up here if I can, and then the other level is here. So the other level is right around 13 grand evenly. So I think the challenge for the day right now is, does it want to retest the day open on the index? And then this is the first RDA check on the 5. I'll share this in the futures room. So if you're not on Discord and you're new, you want to join Discord. Discord is where you want to be. That's the spot, man. Left chart. That's the reaction. Once again, we trade reactions. And then we trade patterns around those reactions. We're up about 5,400 for the day. Did not get picked up on that pullback. We do look at that. It's holding the significant VWAP area that we've been watching for a week or so. Still trying to hold that area. Right now, we don't have any evidence that there's a deeper pullback in play. The challenge on the chart is that chart 3, the 60. Trade Room Alpha. Share this in Trade Room Alpha. Okay. Share my 60 chart. So you should be able to see the 60 chart and see that, you know, we've got slow momentum check, and then we got the RDA. I mean, the RDA is right around 079, 13079. So if the NQ captures 079, then I'd say it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to recapture the weekly open. Well, no, that's the friggin' weekly open. Yeah. So that's the index weekly open. Yeah. So that's the index weekly open. So, yeah. That's where it's going. The index isn't there yet. That's the problem. Once again, for those that are maybe a little confused, or not really a little confused, where's this at? You're wondering kind of what exactly are you talking about, especially if you're new. It's going to be hard to see because there's a little bit stuff on this chart. Why does... Oh, I need to change that because I don't need this to be this. This is the chart. TradingView allows me to share charts. Isn't that great? Thanks, TradingView. All right. Don't want to get too aggressive on the long side here. Enter at levels. Still a reaction from the RDA. That's what this is. It's still a reaction from the RDA. So we're... CL's in the middle of range. GC's, it did continue to move up and hold momentum there. We got probably the best GC trade is right there, right around 2029 for a short. Other than that, nothing else is on the table. Just being patient on this NQ trade. We're in 2 lots. I want to trade a little bit bigger, but I do think it's going for the weekly open, but I would like to see the index. For that fully to happen, number one, the index has to recapture 965. And then also, right now, intermediately, it has to capture 939 for all that to transpire. If you look at the actual NQ, the NQ has to capture 967. Or 067, sorry. Trading with momentum and bias. Booyakasha. So I'm working on something next week that'd be kind of fun. We'll see. I don't want to announce it or, well, I guess so I did share in the den. I asked, would anybody find it kind of cool or interesting, where a trader would trade and then I would just show up, meaning that they'd stream and then basically I would be there alongside them and just kind of, I don't know, just be there. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but and then a few people, one person did actually say, yeah, I'd be up for that. So I think tomorrow, since the market's closed, we're gonna do a test stream where we'll announce that, and I'm going to call it. What we're gonna call it is Rockwell trading session. So, and this is something I just thought, hey, this would be kind of fun to kind of try. Meaning, like, I have a trader trading the system. I'll just show up and then I'll just kind of watch the trader trade. Of course, I'm going to interact. I'm not just going to sit there and watch them, but just more of asking the trader questions. Well, what's your next trade? Why did you trade there? Why are your stop losses there? Not just kind of to be not a fly on the wall, but obviously more interaction, but just kind of understand the thinking of someone adopting the system, looking to trade, and help adjust, also help adopt the system better, but also just kind of understand too some of the hangups that someone has that maybe I don't necessarily get to see, that I understand maybe because I went through them myself, but then also just I'm positive I'll learn quite a few things just by being there and just interacting with someone that's trading live, and understanding their thinking process and understanding what they're going through and what's in their mind, why they're making decisions. Yeah. Got stopped out basically on volatility. I don't know where it's going to go right now. It's still, it's still having a problem on the index from a RDA perspective. So that's why I put my stops there, just because I don't have confidence that it's not going to sell off. It might just sell off. I mean, this is a 60-minute momentum check. So this would be one of those things where, yeah, I'd say the statement for the day would be to actually capture the weekly open, but same thing on the big tech gap fill. We probably should look at the underlying to get a little bit more insight on some of these things. Yeah, someone asked about FRC yesterday, a bank. Like, this thing can go to zero. So, everything can go to zero. So don't, I don't know. Unless you see a huge opportunity, there's other better things to me in my mind that you can deploy your capital on. All right, we're going to have to we just got. So I just did 3 lots long. Not going to give it much room. NQ, don't make me regret that. Went long. 3 lots. Of course, right away it makes me regret it. Little asshole. Gave it a little bit of room to find support at the RDA. It's probably where I should have entered, not followed the trade. Or not, chase the trade a little bit. I didn't really chase the trade. I did capture momentum. Little bastard. It's going to take me out and then rip up. Asshole. Screw you. All right, sell off or rise up. Do one of the things. Do one of the two things. I don't care what you do. Just do one of the two things. Yeah. It's probably yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of fighting two things here. So I need to make a decision which one I want to stick with, and then stick with the one. Fuck you. Oh, fucking asshole. It's trying to hold it. There's a momentum check on the index. So
filled. Order filled.
I don't know. I can't see that. There we go. It's cautiously trying to hold the RDA. Cautiously. Come on, dude. Break that momentum. If it doesn't break it, I need to get out. Yeah, I don't have high confidence I was going to break it. Fuck you.
Order filled.
Should have just fucking traded the momentum. Sell off then if you're going to sell off. Because it lost the momentum on the index. Should have just traded the momentum. Shouldn't have been fading that move. All right, that's my last fade for the day. Fucking asshole. Got to take some profit there. It's at a reaction zone. Take me out. Damn it. Dude, why is the latency so wide? Okay. Yeah. I'm getting some latency here. Why am I getting latency? Let me look at my connection. Everything's good on the connection wise. The fuck am I getting latency for? All right. Take some profit there.
Order filled.
Take a little bit more profit because it is at a reaction zone. And then I'll trail the rest of the stops. Up about 1,300 on that trade. Doesn't matter. I blew friggin' some of the P&L playing around in that little zone. A little idiot.
Order filled.
Sell off, bitch. Sorry, I'm swearing a little bit more. I'm dealing with my ear issue and it's pissing me off as well. So I'm trying to ignore it, but it's a little bit harder to ignore. Sell off, man. You can do it. You got the strength. All right, we got a level down here that'll take some profit around 13K. That is the weekly open or the day open. So the day open is around 893 on the actual NDX. That's what we're targeting. Would have done good on this trade if I didn't play around. I would have just traded momentum instead of friggin' trading the fade. Taking a profit right here. Looking for my first profit zone right on 1303. Or I'm going to get knocked out here in volatility. But it looks like it wants to continue down. At least do a day open test. See what happens at the day open. Might hit the day open, then rip up. Those that are new, you want to join Discord? That's where the great stuff happens. If you do want to trade the #1 trade system on the planet, you can check my website down below, both on TradingView and YouTube. Then to get started, just send me a DM or an email, or there's a link on the site that says, hey, how do I get started? I like to talk to everybody before they get started. You just can't join my training or just buy it. It's just $9.97 one-time fee, but I don't want to just open it up to just anybody to start showing up. I want to make sure you're a fit for the community, make sure it's a fit for you. And it's nothing major. I don't ask any major questions, just more like how much trading experience I have, what are you looking to trade, and just get a feel to make sure that just, you know, a good fit for the community that we've built here. All right, well, momentum and, yeah, fuck you.
Stop filled.
Fuck you.
Stop filled.
Fuck you.
Order filled. Order filled.
Reshorting because we're at the momentum check. So it might continue to go, or it might go up, obviously. Well, maybe it's going to hold that level. Maybe these little bastard buyers are going to hold that level. Maybe you guys are. Are you guys going to hold that level? Probably want to get out.
Order filled.
Little bastards. I'm so pissed about that P&L destroying. Fucking hey, dude. What the fuck? Pisses me off. You know, they say that you're supposed to like be trade emotionalist. That's complete BS. I don't know who made that up. I don't know who said that a human can be completely emotionless. Humans they're emotional beings. How the hell can you be completely emotionalist? It's impossible. So when you read in these trading books, oh, you should trade without emotion and blah, 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 blah. It's all BS. I don't care what anybody says. It's BS. You can't do it. You need to figure out how to use your emotions. That's the answer. The answer is not to be a friggin' robot. If you're going to be a robot, then do algorithmic trading. And what you're going to find is that algorithmic trading is a complete different discipline. Completely different discipline. You know, I get questions all the time. Well, why don't you just automate your trading, automate your system? Oh, and people ask that as if I've just thought about it. Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. Never considered that. Never thought about that concept. Why don't I just automate my system? Wow, thanks for bringing that up. I'm not being an asshole. I'm just like I've been trading since 2016. You don't think that I maybe have thought about automating my system? You don't think that maybe I've tested it? You don't think that maybe I might be automated it already and you don't know about it? So I share that just because, well, I'm going to share about automation if no one's responding or leaving any comments, so I'm just going to go off of my own tirades while I'm trading just to keep myself entertained. So when someone asks me, well, why don't you automate your system? Okay. If I automated my system, none of you guys would know me. Because the amount of effort, work, and time that it takes to automate a trading system. See, you don't just automate it and set it and forget it, and then you're on the beach in your yacht. You create a series of automation programs, and then what you do is then you have to babysit it constantly. Because there is no system yet. And I know I'm sure there's people thinking that they can use ChatGPT to come up with some awesome trading system. Then you don't really understand. I've been using ChatGPT for over a year. So for people that I've been testing artificial intelligence stuff for over a year. I'm in the process. See, I don't share a lot of things I do just because I don't want to I share maybe 40% of what I do in trading with the group because I don't want to distract traders from actually being successful. What I mean by that is most people in my group, they could not handle, and I'm not saying this from arrogance, so I'm just trying to be completely upfront. They couldn't handle the typical things that I actually do in trading because I'm operating at a different level than most people that are just trying to be profitable. Right? Just someone that's just trying to be profitable, that's hard enough. So focus on just being profitable. That's the key. So, I don't share my option strategies, for instance. I don't trade options as much as I used to, but I have an option strategy that I watched 14 tickers, and then I trade butterflies and I trade other options. And the trades come up maybe once or twice a month. Okay. Now, if I share that in the group that's trying to adopt the Rexdog system, which I use the Rexdog system for that, it will completely distract people that are actually trying to focus on, or I will put in a distraction that for people that are trying to focus on developing the system because I know how people work. I know how people operate. They operate on the shiny object syndrome, meaning that, oh, he's doing this in options. Maybe I should look at options and stop going through the training and stop learning this stuff and stop focusing on getting my 10 green days. And maybe I should look at options. So then they'll spend about a week on options. Then they'll get bored and then, they'll get distracted. So I'm very cognizant of what I share about what I do and what I share in the group to not distract from the 80% of the people that are just focusing on becoming a profitable trader on one or two instruments. So I just share that from the perspective, if you want to know, do I actually think about it? Absolutely. So, I'm just sharing that from the perspective of why I don't share every little thing I do in trading, because it'd be like a fire hose. And then you'd be utterly confused most of the time. Most people would be utterly, because I can't add context to everything either. So I'm just sharing that just from like, the big tick chart is actually a momentum check, but the small tick chart's on a momentum short environment. So it's a little hard to see if that level's going to hold or not. Well, I'm just going to put trailing stops in here, and it's either going to hold or not. There we go. I started trading a little bit larger at 7 lots, and then I just didn't, the trade didn't quite work out in the direction I wanted it to, so I've slowed down a little bit until we get to a better trade area. This isn't a great trade area, where it's deciding, does it want to hold that low, or does it want to tap the day open on the index? It's really what it's deciding. I'm more pissed that I just went through some P&L there. So that's what's more pissing me off. So I said, I use my emotions. I use my emotions to focus. So, I read in books that you need to be there's times where I'm calm and fuck you, asshole. But I also use my emotions in trading. And I think you need to figure out how to use your emotions. You need to figure out how to use your brain and the way you're built in trading and not fight it. So for instance, that's if you follow anybody that like does high impact type of things, what they do is they look at the physiology of their body. They look at how the body reacts under stress. And then they figure out ways to adopt the body so that it doesn't the stress doesn't control them, and they're able to operate in those environments. They don't say, well, let's act like a robot. Let's turn ourselves into a robot and let's trade like we're robots. Kind of it's a fight between two charts here at this point in time. It still feels like the long side wants to win here so far. Doesn't look like the short side is actually going to triumph on anything here, but it needs to transpire, actually, obviously, for that to happen. This is still a reaction. We're still on the reaction from the 60. So we're still on the reaction from the 60, and we're about to close in 5 minutes. So we'll get an answer here whether or not there wants to be follow through on the 60 or not. So we'll get a pretty good follow through. Like, that's kind of the question. Yeah. Well, with volume, no. I shared yesterday why no. I agree there. I call, for those that maybe are new, I call the overall market the algorithm. I just say every market participant's in an algorithm. It could be hedge funds, mutual funds, retirement accounts, retail traders, banks, hedgers, farmers, everybody that's in the market. I just call, instead of like, I just call it the algorithm. So it's just one big algorithm that's, so I don't think about different market participants or anything else. I just say, okay, it's a big algorithm. I don't know if I believe in the whole conspiracy of that, where they choose, like they choose how to do this. Now, so yeah, the buyers are stepping up.
Order filled.
So the buyers seem like they're stepping up. With that last test down, it seems like they're stepping up a little bit. I got a lot of P&L to make up for today for the P&L that I destroyed. Really pissed me off, the whole situation there. Yeah, I don't really get into the whole conspiracy theory of big, smart money and dumb money. Like, I think it's a waste of time. It's like, well, the longer that momentum fails and that level fails on the index at 918, the more probability the buyers are not going to win. But if that gets recaptured at 918, then the buyers are probably going to succeed in where they want to push the market. Some ways this is kind of a no trade zone because we're in the middle of a chart, middle of a range almost. So if you're going to trade this, you got to plan to scale in down below, calling the bluff on the buyer side, and then wait for a level check down below. It's probably the best way to trade this. Yeah, as I see here. We do have we're about to get the hour close. So I would expect some volatility here on the hour close. That's the other thing to consider, is that we're going to have increased volatility here on the hour close. I do not like the fact that the index did not close above that.
Order filled.
Did not like that. So we'll see. We will see. Taking a little bit of risk here that the sell-off actually is going to happen, but you know what the problem is? I'm watching the fucking chart. That's the problem. Falling into the trap of why I stopped streaming in the first place. This is why I stopped streaming, or why I would stop streaming, because I'm over trading. Fucking A, dude. So I'm watching the chart. That's the problem. Friggin' sitting here watching it.
Order filled.
Fuck you. Yeah. So do I believe chart 4 is the question?
Order filled.
Yeah. I think I do. This is the last chance to believe it. Either holds or doesn't. Fuck you.
Order filled.
Fucking piece of shit. I'm just gonna stop. We're gonna call the stream here in a second. I just can't. You know, my ears bothering me, and I'm focusing on the charts. I'm not doing other things. So, you know, it's a recipe for me not trading my style. That's the biggest hit to my P&L is this streaming. Biggest hit to my P&L is streaming. I should just ignore. I'm just going to ignore everybody from now on. So right now, today, I'm going to ignore everybody. So you can leave comments. I'll get to them. But I'm going to ignore everybody. I'm just going to freaking trade. I'm just going to not focus on doing the stream. Yeah, it's going to rip up. All right, so I want to be part of that. So check the RDA. Where the fuck we are on the RDA? 941. Okay. 941 is that. Yeah. So let's see if we can get picked up on a momentum check here. Get a little aggressive. Oh, asshole. Pissing me off, taking money from me. Friggin' market. Taking all your dollars. I'm taking all your shit, dude. I swear. You sign up for something and they send you, you know, they keep sending you emails. Like, come on, dude. You just did it. So freaking keep going. Either stop playing around or keep going. Go, bitch. Move. Get out the way. Hey. Oh, hi. Hi. Good. Fucking A. Yeah, I'm not happy about this. The fact that I'm up $2,000. That doesn't mean crap. Doesn't mean shit. I'm more pissed that I friggin' destroyed my P&L today by doing stupid trading and in this little zone like an idiot. Once again, it's because I'm watching the charts too much. Because I'm sitting there watching the charts. I know most people don't know if you're adopting the system, look, you got to watch the charts. You need chart time, okay? So if you're adopting the system, you need chart time. Because you need to understand how the market works and everything else. But you're going to get to a point where watching the chart is a complete waste of your time. Because, like, you're in the trade or you have your position set and you're waiting to get picked up, or you're picked up and you have your stops in, trailing stops, or you have your profit set, and you don't need to freaking watch the chart. Like, now, most of you probably need about a year watching the chart. I just, you know, if you're just starting, you know, you want a good year watching the charts. Then, you know, market doesn't change. Now, it does change. The market does change, but the charts don't change. I know this because I've traded historical charts. I've traded you know, charts, well, 100 years ago. I've traded 100 years. I've got data from 100 years ago. I've traded charts from the 87 crash. I've traded charts from, you know, 1994. I traded charts from 2001 or 1999 to 2001. So, like, do you need, it moves the same way 100 years ago as it does today. So I know that's unbelievable. I know most people aren't going to believe that. So, you know, what I would suggest is trust but verify. Meaning that, okay, trust what I'm saying, but then go verify it. Yeah. So if it captures the RDA on the index, that literally is 941. If it captures 941, then it's going to do a full gap fill most likely. And then the rest of the day is going to try to reach for the NDX 083. So NDX 083. Yeah, I know. I'm doing okay. I'm just mad that I'm allowing the stream to affect my trading. That's all I'm mad about. So, it's none of your guys' fault. I appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody being here. And, you know, but I just, that whole range there, I destroyed some of my P&L by being an idiot. Instead of getting out of tunnel vision. I'm in tunnel vision because I'm streaming and because I'm not adept yet at streaming good enough. I'm not a good enough trader when I'm streaming yet to not allow the charts to suck me in. Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. But no, I just don't. I'm not good enough streaming yet to allow to stay out of tunnel vision, and it utterly pisses me off. So, for those that wonder, I use my emotions to friggin' be to increase my edge. So, I sound a little heated or upset. Well, I am. I'm upset at myself. But then I use that to self-correct and to not make stupid, dumbass mistakes. So, guess I should be happy that I'm up about $4,000 on this trade. And I know, yeah, 1,600 is still a lot of money. So yeah, I'm excited about. I don't know the word excited. I'm satisfied about that, but I'm also extremely upset that I allowed myself to destroy capital and allow the market to take capital out of what should have been my pocket. Taking a little bit of profit in this zone just because it's at a reaction zone. It's probably going to go to the next reaction zone. We're up about 4,400 on that trade, but it's at a reaction zone. We got to take some profit. Got to be good stewards of profit, man. All right, let's go and put our trailing stops in, and let's just forget about the position. Booyakasha. I don't want to get back in because we don't have an answer whether or not. The number one answer we need to have on the market is the RDA going to hold? And then we've obviously got a gap. It gapped down today, and the gap is at 964 in the index. So obviously, we need to be mindful of the index. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're seeing a first reaction. No, man, that's awesome. Don't compare. No one compare themselves to me. Like your $230 is awesome. P&L for the day, that's awesome. Hold on to it. Don't let the market take it from you. That's awesome. Like, it's about executing good trades. If I was trading a small account, if I was trading like $1,000 or $3,000, I'd be like, $230, sweet, that's a win. Like, I'm balling. Like, I'd be happy with that. And then I'd be focused on, okay, let's focus on trading good. Let's focus on executing good trades. So why I'm mad is I wasn't executing good trades, right? And why is that? Because I'm focused on the chart. And now you might say, well, of course you should be focused on the chart. Yeah, you can over-focus on the chart and then, see trades or not trade with conviction. So I didn't have a directional trade with conviction because we're in the middle of a range and it's trying to figure out which way it wants to go. And I'm not trading extremes and I'm not being patient because I'm watching the chart. So, like, I'm upset with myself. I'm not going to give up streaming. I enjoy streaming. It's making me a better trader. I know it doesn't maybe seem like it, but it's going to make me a better trader because it's going to help me more accountable beyond myself to actually execute the system correctly. So other people will become elite traders quicker. So, wonder why I stream? One reason. There's one single reason why I stream. It'll be a little, not long to answer. I'm a trainer. I've created the number one trade system on the planet. the Rex dog system, inspired by my little dog Rex, little tyrant he is. I believe it's the single best system that a retail trader could adopt to become a successful trader, and then make it their own, customize it to their own psychology and their own trading style. I just believe it is. I believe I've discovered something special. I believe I create, through my effort and time over a 3-year period, I believe I've refined a system that I think is something very special. I created training. People have joined the training and paid, made a financial commitment, which I demand, to show that they're serious. That's an obligation. So how do I support people that are looking to adopt the system, going through the training? How do I daily? What's the best way? This is why I stream. What's the best way for me to support the people that are looking to adopt the Rex Dog system? Well, I could get on the server every day and I could opine about, here, do this. I could share my trades and the picture of my trades like some of these dumbass traders do. And say, hey, all you have to do is follow this reaction zone and do this on the 240. Okay, that's great. Look, I'm just proving that I can trade the system. That doesn't, the best way I believe for me to support people that are adopting the system is, okay, show it in real time, trade it in real time, show the messiness of the market, show that it's not a magic button that you just buy and you start pushing a button and then, you start getting 20s, out of the ATM every day. You'd go to the market. No. To me, the best way to support people that are alpha members or people that want to actually be successful traders is show the messiness of the market every single day. Show how it is a challenge. Show even with a system with high edge, that even with that it's still a challenge for the person that created it to actually, trade it highly effectively. Now, part of the issue that you're seeing in real time is that I'm an idiot and I need a challenge. So I fight the system instead of trade the system. The other thing that you're seeing in real time, which these might sound like excuses, but is just the reality, is that a person trying to figure out how to stream and trading alone is hard, right? So we're in this trade. We're just babying these 5 lots. We'll see. It looks like it's going to go to the next zone. So it looks like it's going to go to the next zone. We'll take some profit at 0.80, probably, if it hits that, but it might just exceed that pretty hard. We have a member that actually did streams, and, hopefully they're fine with me sharing this. I'm not going to ask their permission. I'm just going to share. So we have a member. Where is that at? In Delta, a Delta member that grew their account, their demo account, from 35K to 144K. And they did that because they were live trading and they were not happy with their live trading. And they said, I need to refine my live trading. So they basically said, I'm going to do March Madness. And what they did is they basically recorded their trading all through the month of March, and 31 total sessions. And they grew, they started their account with 35 grand, trading the NQ exclusively. And they grew it up to, a total gain of 109,000 after fees, trading the system. And now they're looking then to go back to trading live capital, right? That's a good saying. D.O. Keefe. He who teaches learns twice. Yeah, that's a great saying. I haven't heard that. So I misspell things when I sometimes type. Yeah. So you're seeing someone, just the technology issues. So trading alone, you deal with technology issues, right? Trading alone is hard. Okay. Now I just want everybody to imagine just like, okay. Join my training. I mean, if you join my training, I demand that you do that. If you join my training, in the den, people that show up, I demand these challenges. Why? Because if you've joined my training, you've raised your hand and you said, I want to be a successful trader. Okay. Well, I'm going to show up every day and I'm going to find ways that actually support you in doing that. I'm not going to, that's why I show up every day. Otherwise, I don't know how else to operate. So, so the technology alone on trading alone could be a pain. Now, just imagine adding the stream technology to it. And I know if you don't stream or you haven't, so you have technology issues or little annoyances that pop up with just trading, right? And then when you add the whole streaming side, I'm streaming to 6 or 7 different places. Now I'm using a service, but now it's stalling here. So I'm going to take a little bit off here. I just don't like the way it's stalling here. I probably need to be a little bit more patient there, but I just took a little bit of profit there, or just one lot. I mean, nothing major, but yeah, every time I do that, it's like, hey, you should have just been a little bit more patient, man. For those that are new, I demand, you don't have to follow my advice. I demand that when you learn my system, before you trade live capital, you have 10 green sessions in a row. I say sessions because maybe you break your day up, but let's say 10 green days in a row. I demand 10 green days in a row. If you have 10 green days and you're like, what? Like, that doesn't make any, like, well, shouldn't I have losing days? No, you shouldn't. Why? The system's an always-in system. The system reverse engineers momentum. So that means momentum 4 or 5 times a day. So this is like, I'm going to get it. So why I stopped doing content, just so you know, is because I realized, okay, the direction I'm going with content where I just kind of have bullet lists and I just kind of go down these rabbit holes, people do find value in, but also if I want to actually get people to the next level, what I need to do is I need to break down the advanced concepts of why the system works, how to trade a certain way. And I need to have utter clarity. And the only way to do it is I need to create highly scripted content that is focused, that covers the 4 learning styles. So that's why I stopped, because I didn't stop. I'm still creating content. I'm in the planning stages. But most people think, well, 10 days is not, it's possible. People have done it. Well, the Delta member, like, he just did it with a demo account. So he's ready to start trading live capital. Now, here's the other rule I have. When you start trading live capital, the second you have a red day, you do 3 days of demo accounts until you have 3 green days in a row. And then you go back to live capital. Why do I have these rules? I have these rules because the system's an always-in aggressive trading system that reverse engineers momentum. And if you look at this, trust but verify. President Reagan used to say that, and I like that saying. You should do that with me. Trust what I say, but verify it, okay? Momentum shifts 3 or 4 times a day, on average. 3 to 6 is really kind of like the real average. 4 to 6 is probably what I would say. Momentum shifts 4 to 6 times on average a day on the NQ. Other markets have a little bit different momentum frequency, is what I call momentum frequency. I haven't shared some of these concepts because they're advanced concepts about how to think about the market and why the system works so effectively, okay? So 3 to 6 times a day, momentum shifts. 3 to 6 times a day, you have confirmation using what we use, the 4-chart layout, that momentum shifts. That means you have 3 to 6 trades a day that are high probability trades with confirming pattern price action on the 4-chart setup. And so if you're trading the system effectively, we're at the gap. So I'm going to take some profit here, just one off. and then we're just going to trail the rest of the third. So if you're trading the system effectively, you should capture at least 50% of those 3 to 6. So I use 6 as kind of the average, 5. And with proper risk management, you shouldn't have a green day. Now, you might not have a red day, sorry. You shouldn't have a red day. Now, you might not have an awesome green day, but it should still be a green day, because you could be wrong 40%, you could be wrong 60% of the time and still make money. You can be wrong. It gets a little harder when you're wrong around 70% of the time. You can be wrong 60% of the time in trading. And this happened once with my nephew. He was wrong 60. He had a day where he was wrong. His win rate was 40%. But he still made money. I'm like, dude, you don't realize the lesson that you're learning here. Like, just think about how you can be wrong. You were wrong 60% of the time. So you were wrong more than half the time, and you still made money. That's the power of trading. That's the power of effective risk management. That's the power of trading the system as it's designed. Now, he did overtrade that day. Or no, he didn't overtrade that day. He just didn't pick the right spots. But he was quick to get out. And I don't remember the exact day, but I bet he did overtrade a little bit, meaning that he probably was a little aggressive on his trades. That's why his win-loss rate was so high. So, anyway, still long. I don't want to add here. So here's the thing. I would expect maybe another rise up here to probably the VWAP, the previous VWAP, which is right around 0.97. So 0.97 is probably where I would expect some sell behavior to transpire. The extreme band tells us that the 116 on chart 3 is probably, we're at the RDA and the 60 right now. So that's the first question we have with the market. The first question right now, for those that are wondering, we trade the 4-chart layout. If you're in Discord, I'll share the picture just in the general. So we're right at the RDA. So there, we're right at the RDA. Can I share this here? Can I share this on the YouTubes? Nope. So we're right at the RDA on the 60. So you would expect some kind of reaction in this zone. It might just rip right past it, because why? You know, you always got to kind of project out. It's Thursday. It's a holiday weekend. You know, generally, I don't know if this is true. I've heard this before, that generally holiday weekends, they end green, just because, I don't know, maybe people are excited to go on the holiday and they want to push the market up. I don't know. But where is the index going? 0.84 for the weekly open. That's where it's going. It's for the NQ, it's 263. So that's probably a stretch. Well, not really. Yeah, it's a stretch for the NQ. It's not really a stretch for the index. Now, the other challenge is the index has another reaction zone right around. All right, so we'll be shorting right around 998. The NDX hits 998, we'll be shorting. So in this zone here, in this zonage. Booyakasha. I earmarked the zone on the chart. I will share the chart in both. So if you are ready to get started, just send me a DM on Discord or send me an email or go visit the website. You'll see a little link that says get started now. Yeah, I was really excited to wake up today and see the update from the member. Basically, you know, making 109. I mean, it's demo, but that shows that he's building or I believe it's he. That shows that they are building the muscle for trading. They have discipline. That's the other thing. So they have discipline as far as the ability to just say, hey, something's wrong with my trading here. I need to figure out how to adjust it. And then what did they do? They created a plan to adjust it. and then they followed their plan and they stuck with it. They didn't trade for 10 days and then say, okay, I've got my 10 days. No, they created a plan and said, look, I'm going to do this for 30 days. I need 30 days to figure this out, trade the system, work out all the bugs I have, work out all the emotional issues I have, and focus on what I'm doing wrong here. And they did it. They set a plan, created a plan, set a goal, set a timeline, and recorded the sessions and did it, executed it. Awesome. That to me shows that, because trading is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I do believe that most people should already be convinced that they're going to be successful traders, meaning you know in your heart whether or not you're going to be a successful trader. If you know that, then you're just going to get up every day and do what's necessary to make those little improvements. I guess the way I would look at it, let's say you want to cut down one of those giant redwood trees in California, those huge trees. Have you ever seen those? Those things are amazing. But let's say that you want to cut one of those down, but all you have is a little axe, like one of those little hatchets, right? But you have to cut it down. Like, let's say that, I don't know, someone has chained you up and basically said, look, you got to cut down this redwood tree with this hatchet. If you don't, then I will come here and you'll be taken out, right? Well, with that little hatchet, the only thing to do is to get up every day and start hacking away, right? That's the tool they gave you. So basically, you just got to get up every day, take that little hatchet, and just start hacking away at that redwood tree. And is it going to take you a long time? Yeah. Is it going to be daunting? Absolutely. But that's the same way with trading. You got to look at it as, you're trying to chop down this big redwood tree. The market's everybody's against you. You have no friends. There's no friends in trading. You have no friends in the market. The market hates you. The market wants your capital. So the market absolutely hates you. Hates the fact that you're trying to take money from it. So, you got to get up every day and just hack away at that little hatchet. I just not give up. Booyakasha. So let's go look and see at the market. I got no alerts on any other chart. That's what's weird. Didn't get picked up on the short on GC. Didn't get picked up on the short on NQ. Do we have someone on our... Hey, dude, you're being muted. Hey, dude. Hey. How do I mute you, man? Sorry. Some people join the voice and don't realize that they have their microphone on and then start having conversations about shares. Yeah, I did. I muted them. We had, and someone show up yesterday that we had a conversation for a little bit on the stream, so that was interesting. And we'll go get. I'm waiting for like the pivot in the market here, so I can maybe go get some coffee. Thanks. No, I'm. As if anybody that was on the stream yesterday, or just started streaming in the midst of a conversation as someone that just kind of just discovered us, the group, and me, and yesterday, and just shared some of their trading ideas. One of the ideas they shared is that they see an advanced VWAP basically when the VWAP comes up and tests the ES tests the VWAP, or how do I explain this? Or not how do I explain it, but the ES leads an NQ move. And one example is that, let's say it's below the VWAP and the ES comes and tests the VWAP and then sells off. Well, that's the signal then that the NQ will sell off, and the NQ won't actually do the same thing. I'm sure I'm explaining it, at least in concept, the same way. So I looked at that a little bit yesterday, just to see, not is it true? Well, is it true? Do I see it? The other thing I looked at is, okay, like, should I even consider this as far as like the way I look at things like this, just so you understand, so I get to simplicity, as I say, okay, that's something someone noticed in the market. That's something that, and then I look at it and say, okay, would I have been in a trade anyways? Would the system, not me, would the system tell me to trade in that zone anyways? And would there be a signal within our system and our rules and our patterns that we trade that I'd already been a trade, or I wouldn't trade that for various reasons? Wow, look at that move. Buyers are really stepping up. If you have high confidence, which I don't yet, but if you had high confidence, it's almost, you take a risk on the buy side as far as, now that might be an overshoot. We do have the second hour of the market. So then that's the way I put things through my my filter, is I say, okay, would the system already telling me? And and I'm not saying this from a point of arrogance, but what's kind of interesting around a lot of these concepts that I learn, even now when I learn something new, maybe I'm reading a book or I'm watching a YouTube video or someone in a conversation. Usually it's kind of rare that the system didn't already have something in that zone that would have told us that we should have been in the trade or taking that trade. And I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that the way that kind of we look at momentum and bias in the market and reaction zones, we're kind of capturing a good swath of the trade systems that exist out there. So, like I said, I'm working on. You're getting some thoughts from someone. Oh, I got a question for people. Awesome, 500 P&L for the day. Sweet. That's good P&L. Great job, man. Good P&L. $500 for the day is awesome. I'd say that waiting for that zone right around 13K on the index is kind of key. And then I'm not adding to this trade yet, just because I'm waiting for maybe, what I need to do is, so the index has recaptured bias and momentum. Trade Room Alpha. I will share this in Trade Room Alpha. Recaptured bias and momentum. And it has, looks like it's going to hold it. Now it does have this level right around 974. If it breaches that level around 974, the next level that we're going to be watching is the mix 200 zone, the RDA zone right around 13,004. So I'd anticipate, obviously it's a round number, so everybody in the world is watching that, oh, that's real? I didn't know that was real. Is that real? So I don't want anybody to test it, but I saw something the other day that, someone put the Bitcoin white paper on every Mac. Is that really true? Or is that an April Fool's joke? Huh. Interesting. Looks like it's true. I saw that. I'm like, that can't be true. I'm sure it's going to be removed. Apple's not the company it used to be. Apple's not the company that did the 1984 ad. I can tell you that right now. They are the company that they were fighting against. Okay, now we're getting a test of the actual level. So this will reveal a lot. What happens on the NDX at 976 will reveal a lot. Meaning, is it going to sell off from there? Is it going to rip through that? I need to be a little bit... What's this silver squeeze? I've been sharing for months, or probably a year, that I saw a huge opportunity in silver. What I don't do is I don't yell, meaning that some traders yell what they do, especially on Twitter, and they're like just like, yelling, consistently going over the same thing. I share things 1 or 2 or 3 times, and then I execute, or I'm already executing. So that probably frustrates some of you, I would assume, because some of you probably just want signals. I know, because every single day I get DMs from people asking me if I provide signals. And every single day I respond and say, no, I teach people to fish. Why would you want to rely on another man for your income? And then they never respond back. So that's if you send me a DM and you say, do you provide signals? Not yet. There might be a time in the future where I would probably consider it because I'm testing a few things. But my common response is I copy and paste. No, I don't provide signals. I teach people to fish, teach people to trade, a highly effective system. Why would you want to rely on another man to make your money, to make your income? I don't know exactly what it is, but so. And strangely, those people never respond back to me and say, hey, that's a great point. Why would I want to rely on another man to make my money? Obviously, if you have a job, it's a completely different thing. You're still relying on your own, you're relying on someone else that has a business, but you're actually relying on your own skills and abilities to go out there and provide value to that person that runs a business, okay? So that's I don't look at having a job, having a career as like I don't look at it that way. When moon, sir, exactly. So I don't know how aggressive I want to be on this short here, but we're hitting the slow momentum indicator. The real test, actually, I guess. So here's the thing. You start scaling in, not quite here, but there's 2 ways to enter a trade. A single position, or you scale in. And you don't change. You either do one or the other. You don't change, because then you're not following your plan. So we're going to see if we can get out of the trade right around 131. That might be a little aggressive. We got to wait for the test on 60. I'm literally watching the index. Come on. You can do it, man. That's funny. Let's look at so no other chart is picking up our entries. Gold or oil CL is in the middle of a terrible range. So really, we don't have any entry there. Our best entry on that chart is that level. And why are the levels not showing up on the freaking thing? Okay. Remove all drawings. Now we're going to add all drawings. Oh. No, that's right. Horizontal line. That's the next level, which is friggin' obvious. Couldn't be more obvious. So that's the next level. So I don't feel like trading up to that level. I guess, you know, there is a position that could be added here on a pullback, on a momentum check. So we'll add 3 lots on CL down to here for a pullback, a fake break. And we'll put a protective stop right here. If it does get down there, it might be testing the VWAP. So that's something that we'd have to be mindful of if it does get down there. Yeah. Well, so we're almost at the point where I'd want to start selling the actual NQ. Almost there. Almost there. I want to see an exhaustion move here. There we go. Oh, you don't see it on the chart, sorry. Where my 3 positions is where I'd, you know, that might be a stretch. So, all right, I reversed. We'll see if I regretted that because I probably started early. So I might have regretted reversing that. We'll see. But you have to plan to scale in up to here. It's kind of where you have to plan to scale in. It's kind of your scale in plan if you're going to short this. If you're going to short this move and get out in front of the buyers, you need to kind of plan to scale in kind of around this zone. Like that. We're up about 8 grand for the day so far, but you know, taking a little bit of risk on this trade here, so we're going to ding our P&L if this trade doesn't work out in our favor, because we are fading a little bit early. So this is my last fade trade opportunity for the day. Doesn't work out, then I have no more permission to do any fade trades. Probably started that a little early. Didn't get any confirmation yet, obviously. Probably need to be up a little bit higher in some of these, given the volatility. Nothing in NG. I guess the NG trade, we could look at a short right here. So let me make sure the chart backs that up. So I do have an NG trade, but it's a little bit higher. Yeah, it's not going to get up there today, I don't think. I think the NG trade we need to do is right around here. It's right around here. Two spot 124. 2 spot 1 2. Okay, so that's perfect. Well, I mean, I don't know, perfect. That's the zone I would want to enter. Put protective stops in the market. There we go. Oh, I only had 2 positions there. Okay. Once again, this is a kind of a aggressive short. I mean, we do expect a reaction in the zone, but I have no confirmation yet. So I have no confirmation. I've not got any confirmation that this is a good short. Just trading. I'm trading the reaction zone. We predict a reaction zone in this zone. I mean, it's obviously right. The challenge is the index is right around 13,000 right now. So it's deciding if it's going to hold 13,000. But it's also the slow momentum indicator is right there. The other challenge on this trade, just from a perspective of maybe starting a little early and we might not get confirmation. There's room up to 0.017 on the index. I share this in Trade Room Alpha. You know, and I'm using that previous alpha. Actually, let me do it a little bit better. Mo better. Come on, dude. How do I move that down? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's almost waiting for the tap at 0.20. So I'm going to share this in Trade Room Alpha. So for those who are wondering what Trade Room Alpha is, that's basically the trade room for members, den members, alphas. Thus, Trade Room Alpha. So that's using the previous alpha candle, chart 3. Really, so I started this position early. You know, it's not behaving yet. I think that the question now is just kind of plan to scale in that upper zone. That's probably where I should have probably started, especially if there's no reaction where it's at right now. Yeah, should have probably started right there, given that there's no reaction in this zone. Okay, waiting for that tag.
Order filled.
There we go.
Order filled.
Come on, NDX, tag it, and then sell off. That's what we want to see. Tag that level and sell off. We got another level right around 0.31 on the index too. That is so I did start this position a little early. Got another level right around 0.30. Might continue going. So I gotta, as with most fades, you gotta take profit quick. So obviously if the market gives me an opportunity to maybe get out, I might take it. But we're starting early. We haven't got any confirmation that the fade is actually in play yet. We do have a room for this trade down to 103. So it's not like there's not room for this trade. So there is room for this trade down to 103. There's greater room down to 0.88 if it really wants to sell off and do a momentum check. So we do have room in this fade trade. So it's not like, from a fade trade perspective, you know, we've got room. The only difference, or the only thing that is different here, or not different, but that I didn't wait for confirmation. Now we're getting we're at a reaction zone on chart 2, but you know, it's held momentum all day, or since it's made the move. So now it's doing a momentum check. You know, we've got a momentum check right around 115. So that's the other area that we're going to be watching for, 115. I'm doing straight up micro, looking at chart 2. So this is chart 2 analysis based on, okay, this is a fade trade. You know, where does chart 2 tell us that we expect reaction zones? Where we expect a reaction zone right here. We're getting that reaction zone. If I share the 5-minute chart of the index, I'll be sharing it. And once again, you're looking at the left chart. So for those that are wondering, you're looking at the left chart. That's what you're looking at. About to be in profit in this trade, possibly. I do need to just consider, like, do I just take profit and then at this, well, there's two things. If it really sells off, then we'll be more secure in the trade. But there we go. That's what we want to see. Sold off. Now it's at a reaction zone. I need to take some profit there. So I took some profit there. And then we'll just trail the rest of the on 3 lots each. And we're probably going to get knocked out here because it's a reaction zone. But we'll see. Actually, I can give it a little bit more room, actually. So, but you'll see, like, we're up about $600. Yeah.
Stop filled.
Once again, getting knocked out on a reaction zone. I mean, it's friggin', boy, it's so easy to friggin' predict. So, there we go. Still made some P&L on that so far. It's still shortable too. You know, just because we're out of this position now doesn't mean that it's not still shortable. It still might be shortable, but now we would wait for confirmation if we're gonna add to the short. You know, we were early and did get knocked out. I could possibly here, just because I'm in 3 lots, break it up into thirds, but why? Especially when the buyers are being idiots. Often bagging the buyers. It's just because I'm not with them. That's why I bag on the buyers. When I'm with them, I actually want them to actually do what they're doing.
Stop field.
Same with the sellers.
Stop field.
Yeah, stopped out of that. Want another test there? I would like another test, but we do have a level. So we have a level developed now. Ah, damn it. You little jerk. Took me out of all those trades. Then you sold off. What's up with that, man? Ah, just didn't stick with it. Guess I didn't have the strength. Didn't have the ability to stick with that trade, did I? That's how your market's teaching me a lesson. Don't short early. Or if you're going to short early, short with conviction. That's what it's teaching me. The market's really saying, hey, dude, if you're going to short early, you better short with conviction. Otherwise, I'm going to take you out, and then I'm going to go in the direction. You little jerk. Yeah, didn't short it with conviction. That's what happens when you don't trade with conviction. I mean, I still made money. Still making money, but, like, I should be up, $1,000 or so. But didn't trade that with conviction. Nope. Still have about $130. The question is, do we short it here? Do we have confirmation? Well, ideally, we'd like a double level check. Ideally. So, it's kind of what I'm waiting for. Being a little patient for that double level check. Otherwise, the next trade that's on the table is a long. And the long is down, there's 2 long scenarios. There's right here, right around 103. That's kind of the best long scenario, probably. Well, actually, the best long scenario is probably 0.93. So, let's short it.
Order field.
Added another short. It's failing to recapture momentum and bias. We'll short it up to here. And then if it doesn't work out, we'll get out. We're in 2 lots now. Should be in 3. It's really not the level test, so I'll kind of bracket the level test a little bit. I'll just kind of do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wish it told you how many friggin' positions we were in. That way you could easily calculate this shit, and then you could easily say, okay, I'm going to put a protective stop without using friggin' brackets. But no. Why would they develop a trade system based on how traders actually trade? Why would that? Now, what I will share is with Sierra chart, some of these things that I'm actually complaining about are actually possible. So, and I don't have Sierra chart up today. I'll do it here in a little bit, probably in the afternoon session, if I trade the afternoon session. But so far, decent trading day, P&L wise, 8,400. Did have one trading area where I was a little upset about myself. I think I'd probably get out of this trade. Didn't quite do a level check, and I'm a little early on this position. Don't really like where I'm at. Well, I guess I'll give it a little bit of room. I just don't like the volatility that's here. The only thing I can really do is just put in trailing stops right around my entry. Alright. Just the volatility is picked up, so I just don't want to... I could see it ripping up just as easy as I can see it ripping down. So I'm just going to put trailing stops in. We're going to remove all of our offers. And we've got all of our trailing stops in. Ah, look at that. So, alright. Volatility-wise, it's starting to pick up a little bit. Vol-wise. Up about $400 in that trade. I don't know if we're going to be able to maximize that profit. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cinco de Mayo. There we go. Sweet. It's going to take me out again. It's going to punish me for not trading with conviction. You little bastard. Yeah.
Stop field.
Punishing me for not trading with conviction.
Stop field.
Asshole.
Order filled.
Yeah. No trade in this zone. Boom. No trade in this zone. No trade in this zone. We really don't have an answer yet. Really, the trade is on the level check. Calling the bluff on the level check here. That's the trade. So, the trade is right now a short. I missed the entry, damn it. Damn it,
Order filled.
Jim. And then, you plan to scale in up to here. That's the trade. The fade trade, if you're going to fade this level check, you know, the market, I mean, they're pretty strong. So those buyers, those little buyers, man, they're pretty strong today. They want to push the market up. So don't get in front of them unless you're trading extremes. I missed the best entry on that. What time is it? Oh, 11 o'clock hour. Holy shnikes. We're about to have the hour close on the index. Let's see what the hour looks like. Booyah. Okay, we're going to have follow through. That's the question you should always ask on an hour close. What is the next hour going to do? Is it going to follow through? And if it follows through, what does the follow through look like? Obviously, the target is 060. Obviously, the target is the weekly open. That's the obvious level for the market. Obviously, isn't there that meme of that kid saying obviously? Obviously. Obviously. I probably need to get out of this trade. Yep. Just missed it. Just missed the opportunity to get out there before it spiked. Once again, fading. And then, so, terrible fade. Or not the best fade on the planet. Just, you know, that spike was really the hour close. So why is it not painting? Why is TradingView not painting? The hour just closed, dude. Oh, that's because it's the wrong hour. Duh. That would be why. Yeah.
Order filled.
So there we go. So we'll see on this follow through. It does look like it wants to come up, and if it does, then it's probably got that higher level it wants to take out.
Order
Yeah.
filled.
So I'm being a dumbass fading the market here. Yeah, like a fucking idiot. All right. Yeah. Yep. Should have just went with momentum on that trade, especially when it held up down below. That was the right trade to do. I don't care about your stupid dumbass funded accounts, because they're all, you know, the where you're sharing that it, you know, if you understand. I've actually talked to a consultant and the accounting side on how those work. I know how they work now, so I could start one.
Filled.
Maybe I will start one.
Order filled.
I won't, because it's all terms of service. You're not trading real accounts. You're simulating trading accounts, and it's all terms of service. It's all terms of service. We did get picked up on a CL trade, so that's positive. I'll have to call Uncle on this trade here in a second if it doesn't work out in my favor.
Order filled.
So we'll have to call Uncle here in a second. Extreme. Okay, we're at now. I guess I gotta wait for that next level. Well, go damn. We're gotta wait for the next 5 minute. We're 1 minute away, so I gotta wait for the next 5 minute candle. Really, it's the OR 50. This is kind of like where the next range is. So that's probably where it's stretching for, which is way too far for where I want to fade this move here. Started too early as usual. Do have enough powder to kind of highly effectively fade this trade. No, what I mean is that, yeah, you're not interacting with the real market. So these simulated prop firms that are funding you, there's no guarantee that you're actually trading the real market. Now, you might be fine with that, but basically what you're doing is you're gambling. You're going to a casino. Your agreement with those terms, with most of those firms, they're not licensed. So ask those firms if they're licensed to do, if they have a licensure to actually play the role that they do in the futures market, because there is a requirement if they did it the way that they should be doing it. And I'm not an attorney, I'm not an accountant, I know nothing about trading, so you shouldn't listen to anything I say about trading, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm really just a drunk guy in the street of New York, naked, telling you the world's going to end. So these firms, I could start one tomorrow, and all it is terms of services. You're trusting that you're going to go and get fund. You're going to go through their operation. You're going to pay them a fee to be able to trade. You're going to pay them a fee, and then you're going to follow their guidelines to become a funded trader. I use air quotes. And when you become a funded, and the agreements that what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have an account somewhere where basically your money's piling up. It's a complete demo account. So in that scenario, basically you're just trusting that they're going to say, okay, you made 10 grand in this funded requirement rules that we have for what we trade for our operation. And then because you've made money in this demo account, we're going to then act like it was real money, and we're going to pay you are agreed upon profit sharing that isn't real money. So they're not making real money off. Like what I'm saying is that, okay, if let's say that you start one of these funded accounts, you pay them $300 a month to then do the whole thing, and then they have a series of rules, drawdown rules, and everything else that you need to follow in order to be a funded trader, right? Okay. Now you go and trade your account, and let's say you make 10 grand. They didn't, and they say, look, there's a 70-30 profit split with you. Okay. They didn't, and you made 10 grand. They don't get to take home 3,000 because you're not really you're not actively trading the market. It's phantom money that is 10 grand. So they didn't really make 3 grand off you. They only made $300 off you. You didn't really make $10,000 in the market. You made just 10,000 phantom money. So they only made $300. Okay. So they have to then shovel out 7 grand on non-active accounts where they're only making $300. You can do your own research. And I know not every firm probably is like this. I'm just sharing. You could do your own research. All right, we're profitable in this trade. We probably need to figure out, do we get out on the RDA check or do we get out here? Get out here. Just break even. I shorted that a little early. I don't have confidence it's going to continue to sell off. So, there we go. No, I do. I agree. Several legit ones pay out the payouts. I agree. Okay. I agree. And I'm not deterring anybody from doing it. Except for, you know, we've been recently infiltrated with people that actually are selling these as affiliates. Right? So our group has been infiltrated with people that are selling these as affiliates. So anybody that mentions these things, I just assume are just selling the affiliate accounts. So, you know, that's why. So anybody that mentions these and their success with these things, you got to be suspect. You suspect. You got to be suspect. Why? Because you're going to share an affiliate link for me to sign up. And then you make affiliate commissions if I sign up and then I start trading with it and I start, or I pay my fee. So, like, anybody that mentions these things in our group, just so everybody knows, be suspect of it, because they're going to have a conversation with you, and then what they're going to do is they're going to share an affiliate link with you and say, hey, yeah, I'm successful with Apex trading. You need to do it too. Like, look at how I'm doing, you know? And then you're going to wonder, well, okay, yeah, what are you using? What tool are you using? They're going to say, well, I'll share with you the tool. And then they share with you, and then the link they share is an affiliate link. You go sign up. You then pay money. They get a portion of your sign-up fee. Okay, that's what that's what the majority of the people that are promoting, that are sharing their trades in these systems. That's what they're doing. Because from a successful trader perspective, sorry, I'm eating. From a successful trader perspective, I'm going to go to a real prop firm, like a real one. And then a real prop firm within an hour sitting down with me is going to be interested in courting me. We got picked up on the CO and then GC. A real prop firm is not required that I pay $300 to sit down with them and have a seat. A real prop firm is going to say, hey, you can add value to our firm. And by the way, we can add value to you. We can give you a bigger capital. We can give you these type of supports. We have proprietary trading solutions. You have access to our quants. You know, you're going to have a trade manager. We're down on CL. Yeah, I don't like that trade anymore. Boom. We're out of you, man. I don't like that CL trade anymore. GC trade, I'm still okay with. GC, I still okay with you, man. Level check on GC. Level check on chart 4 and chart deuce. I talked to an attorney about setting up a prop firm. Yeah, no, I agree. All of them disclose it. Top Step's good. I think Top Step's probably a good solution. I would agree. Top Step's probably one of the better of them out there. But and I might actually just test it myself. Meaning I might just sign up. I'm not going to tell anybody because I'm just going to do it and then I'll share the results of doing it. So I'm not going to do it actively. Meaning like I'm not going to live do it and like but I might just kind of test going in there, getting funded, seeing how it works. Like I'm not totally opposed to it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying at a fundamental level, okay? From a business perspective, like you're getting into a business relationship with this company, okay? So maybe it would be incumbent upon you to maybe analyze how they make money. Like if let's say I myself, if I continue to turn down this offer of my buddy that owns a hedge fund every 2 weeks that calls me, I'm not gonna record one of his phone calls. I'm gonna ask him one time, can we just record these phone calls just so I can like, I'm sure he'll say no. But if I was there's a prop firm that I know of that I could potentially interview for, I guess is the word I would use. If I went to that prop firm, number one, I would want to make sure that they're stable, like they've been around for a while. They're not, they're not on the brink of going under, right? Now, obviously, they're not going to tell me all this stuff, but I'd want to know some of this stuff. So, if I get in a business relationship with these funding companies, I would like to understand how they make money. Right now, we're only in a GC trade. We're up about $300 in that trade. We are NQ trade might be a sell-off, but I think it's best to wait for the NDX to test 058, then it's a sell. Because that's the first test of that level. But it's so close to the weekly open. And in a way, really what we need to be looking for is the buy side. So I'll do a participation trade here on the buy side. We'll put it scaling just a one lot trade. And it's either, because it recaptured momentum. So it's either going to move up or not. So we'll see. It is a lunch session. I will be taking a break here in lunch session and come back. I think I'll show you the afternoon. I think I'll feel like it. We're so close to them. I mean, really, from a conviction standpoint, trading the long side is really probably the best trade. So I'll finish my thought on these things. So, to me, maybe figure out how they make money. And then, like, I haven't totally done the math, but I've done it enough, and I asked an attorney in this space about, like, can I start a prop firm? That's the first question I had. And then, and of course he said, yeah, you could. But then the next question was, okay, I see these other firms like this. They're prevalent in the Forex market, but then also I'm seeing these, I've seen these other firms, these like Top Step and everything else. And here's, be very familiar with the model. So no, I'm very familiar with it. He said, and he said, look, the first company in that space that actually goes out and get a licensure or that actually gets licensed and approved will have a huge competitive advantage. But then he, like a good attorney, well, okay. Well, yeah. I guess I don't know about a good attorney. A good attorney, at least I've found, finds a way, because they bill hourly, to keep you engaged in conversations. And before you know it, you're like, hey, you're telling a joke. I remember one time I said to an attorney, my real estate attorney, I'm like, dude, am I paying for this joke? Because this joke, how long is this joke going to last? Like, is it going to be a 10-minute joke, 5-minute joke? Like Like we're sitting here in your conference room, got your other attorney there, the other attorney here. Are we paying for this joke or like how's this working? So, um, but he said, well, he just shared, well, how do you think it works? And then basically his consensus, he said the opportunity in the market is be the first one of these companies to get licensure, to get bonded by the futures organizations. He said if you do that, none of these other companies are going to have to do one of two things. He said they're either going to have to just ignore that fact, or they're going to have to go down the path as well. And what they'll realize is that they're going to, like, if they go down that path, 60% of their revenue will be at risk because they will risk their good standing. So that's just what I was told.
Stop field.
So that's just my honest feedback. That's I'm not trying to deter anybody from doing it, but to me, and I know I'm beleaguering this point, but well, let's say that you came to me and said, hey, will you fund me? And I say, yeah, absolutely, I'll fund you. I'll give you 10 grand to trade with, and we'll split the profit 70-30. And then you start trading, and then you find out that 10 grand was a demo account. That 10 grand wasn't real capital. And then you come back and say, look, I doubled my account and went to, the month later, let's say you say, we started at 10, I'm at 20 now, and maybe I say part of this agreement is that, you pay me, like, look, I'll fund your account, but I need a commitment from you, so I need $500. Okay? I'm just saying. Like, hey, I'll give you 10 grand to trade with, but I want $500 up front just because, I want a financial commitment. And you say, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so I give you 10 grand, then I give you an account. I say, hey, here's an account. And then within 30 days, you're like, hey, I grew the account to 20 grand. And then I say, oh, we got a challenge here. And I'm not saying this will happen. I'm just saying, that was actually a demo account because I was just really testing whether or not you had the ability to trade. So you didn't really make 10 grand. I mean, you did in demo. Congratulations. But we don't have this extra 10 grand here. The 10 grand doesn't exist. Now obviously I would, if I want to keep you around, I would be paying your 7 grand to you, right? But you didn't make 7 grand in real capital. You made 7 grand in demo capital. I can pay demo capital. So, if you're willing to accept demo capital, I'll pay you in crypto. I'll pay you in Shibu. I'm shorting. This is probably late in the short, so I probably should have shorted the highs. So we'll look for the long side. It's not short. We got a level test here on chart 3, and then we've got the level, actually the true level is down below, right around the RDA. But we're in the lunch session. We also got on the 5. We were out of the GC trade, so the GC took us out. So I think the best trade is the first test of the day, right around 120. So 120. Might not get there. So 120. Yeah, it's not quite a Ponzi scheme because basically, Ponzi scheme is you find new investors to pay old investors. But what they're banking on is the numbers. It's a casino. The numbers are 80% of retail traders don't succeed. I think it's higher than that. And I would say it's probably higher than that for people that look at the funded top step type of programs, because then they attract a certain psychology of people that, you know, I would say it's probably closer to the 90%. So, look, it's a great business if you're okay with it, meaning that if you can attract people that are going to pay you fees to actually access technology that they could get for free by just signing up as a broker account. And then basically what you can do is you can promise them the dream, but then they never acquire the dream. But you know, for most, I don't know how many people here run a business, but you know, when you run a business, you look at the lifetime value of a customer, you know, and they know the lifetime value of a customer there. And I bet their lifetime value is probably like 3 to 6 months, meaning that, you know, when they they know the cost to acquire a customer. They know how much it costs on average to acquire a customer through all their advertising and all their marketing. And it's probably, it's probably right around $40, I would assume. It's probably $30 to $40 to acquire a new customer. Could be less. But, $30 or $40 to probably acquire a customer. Their lifetime value of a customer is anywhere from probably $7,000 to maybe $2,000 is probably in that range. That's probably their lifetime value of an average customer. So that's doable. Some of the bad firms that aren't good at marketing and aren't good at sales conversions, then they're going to have probably the same acquisition cost for a customer, but then their lifetime value is going to be around $500 to $600. Still a great return on $40. Now, obviously, you don't have cost of goods in there. So if you put in cost of goods, as far as like all the employees they need to hire, tech support, and everything else, their cost to acquire a customer with cost of goods is probably maybe $70, $80. It's probably double of what the advertising is typically. I know I'm talking way over, and I know most people aren't even interested. They're like, hey, dude, this isn't Shark Tank, dude. You're not freaking Mr. Wonderful. I get it. But I'm just sharing my perspective on these companies. So their cost of goods is $80, for a single customer. So $80 to acquire a customer, could be a little bit more than that. But then on $80, their lifetime value on the average customer is $500 to $600. That's not a bad business model. It's not a bad, especially if you just got the thing humming along. It's not a bad business. You just need to do the math. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't look at that as a Ponzi scheme. I look at that more as a business. I mean, you could talk about the ethicality of the business all you want. I mean, we could go down that road, obviously. Hold on one second. I'm talking as from a business perspective, not making any ethical or moral judgments on whether or not it's a good business to do. Yeah, but they're not going to get sued. That's the thing. If you actually talk to the attorneys that's in this space, they'll tell you that, well, okay, they won't tell you. They might get sued, but it's like anything else, or how these things typically happen. The fine will be so disproportionate to the amount of money and the pain that they caused. So, and they're operating with. So here's when you talk, let's imagine we were talking to an attorney, and an attorney knew about this space. The attorney probably would say, well, it's in the gray area. They haven't, what you're talking about doing here hasn't really, there hasn't been official pronouncements on on simulated trading accounts and a promise of simulated profit sharing and a fee-based access to this service. The various regulatory agencies haven't. There isn't a distinct pronouncement that this is wrong, and they haven't supported it. So here's how these firms operate. Is like, here's how to operate this, so that you can, when the eventual hammer does come down, you can say, hey, this is how we operate. We've done everything according to your guidelines. We're following your guidelines. It's your fault for not creating proper guidelines around this space. It's kind of like what's happening with crypto, except they're intentionally dragging it out to crypto. I don't know why, but it's like, how hard is it to figure out what crypto is? How long has crypto been around? How hard is it to come up with like the simple regulation that would support the free market? How hard is that? I'm waiting for this short trade. So we're waiting for a short on the NQ. Really, there's no other trade on the table. We do have another trade maybe on GC, possibly unfolding. So there's a possible short at the same level, but it's held the previous day low. So really, since it's held the previous day low at 2026, the next level to check is really the open level, which is right around, so it's reshifted momentum. The trade is probably on the long side with GC, and it's waiting to get picked up down here at 2028. That's the trade. Everything else, I'm not well, CL, I did miss the trade on CL a little bit, but I just didn't like that range CL was in. I don't like the spiking behavior in this chart. I don't trust CL right now. CL is trying to figure out what does it want to do. It gapped up for the week. So the gapped up open. So what it's trying to figure out right now is does it want to come back and retest 77.57? That's what CL is trying to figure out. And I don't have a distinct answer on that question right now. Although, now that I look at it, I think we maybe are getting an answer. I think the answer is you short it.
Order filled.
I'm just scaling up here. That's the answer. So hopefully it doesn't spike here. But I think that's the answer. The other challenge with that CL is that if you look at the 60, this will be illustrated for people. Even if you don't trade CL, look, if you don't trade CL, or if you don't trade these other tickers, here's the thing for members. Look, I understand most of you don't trade these other tickers. The system's the same, right? So it's like you can learn lessons from other tickers, and it wouldn't matter. The charts, we're trading chart patterns. So see the 60 there? I mean, it's really not the best short trade. That's why I just entered one and then basically just look to see maybe get picked up but see, you'll see where the momentum indicators are. We're smack dab. The momentum indicators really aren't giving an indication of like giving us any additional edge as far as, okay, there's a directional move on this trade. And then, where's the other thing? Yeah. So, but that RDA test on the 60 kind of aligns. Well, not really. Yeah. The RDA test of the 60 aligns with the week low. So that's the question. Does the week low want to be taken out? All right. Now, the NQ is coming back up, doing another level test. And then I'm not going to give it much room. I'm literally just going to put trailing stops up here. And then it's either going to sell off right away or it's going to take me out at a loss. I'm not going to scale into that position beyond this. Beyond these three lots, That's the extent of my skillage.
Order filled. Order filled.
Well, CEO came up and took us, got our entries quicker than I thought. No, so Michael, he shared on YouTube. For me, what matters is that those who pass and get to trade funded accounts, they actually get payouts. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Ah, fucking A. Shouldn't have done that stupid trade.
Order filled.
Yeah. I'm so stupid for doing that. Why? Well, my thesis for doing that trade was we're in the lunch session and it'd be a range trade. I think the challenge is that we're so close to the weekly open that I'm getting in front of where the market wants to go. So,
Order filled.
that was the problem with that trade. Now, what I need to be careful of is I don't get on the other side here and just because I got taken out, think that the other side is going to win. I did a participation trade at this level. And then, yeah, so
Order filled.
I agree. I'm just wondering, but so what's the, I guess what I would ask people, here's what I would ask people. How did you find that company? Was it recommended from someone that's successful in it? That would be my question. Did a friend of yours that you know reach out to you and say, hey, Top Step, and I'm not gonna, so I won't use the company. Hey, I'm gonna say, I don't know, Super Duper Trade Company. Hey, I've been trading with Super Duper Trading Company, and I've been trading with them for a year, and I got funded, and I get payouts every month. Or did you come across that company in some other means? That's be my first question. Then my next question is, I got stopped out. Why don't you try to find a prop firm that is a real prop firm that doesn't require you to potentially put up $500, or maybe does require you to put up, well, there's different type of prop firms, but one of some of them are like they'll match your capital that you put in. But then a lot of prop firms basically will, so did you go and try to find another prop firm that doesn't require that is actually a licensed prop firm? And then I would ask, well, if you didn't do that, why didn't you do that? I'm just asking questions. I'm not like attacking you or attacking the idea or, saying it's bad or anything along those lines. I'm just asking, like, and I'm asking from the perspective of someone that actually cares and actually saying, okay, like, you deciding to be a trader isn't just a whim decision. You've decided that you want trading to be a major change in your life. So if you've decided that you want trading to be a major change in your life, you should really analyze every decision that you make, because the way to look at it is that before you made the decision to become a trader, you were at a road and you had two paths. You had a left and a right path. You were at a Y in the road. And when you decided to become a trader, you went down the path that said, I'm going to become a trader, and that's going to be my destiny. Sounds a little, um, but that's going to be my destiny. Okay. So why would you willy nilly make decisions willy nilly? Why would you make decisions that are spur of the moment decisions on a destinational decision for your life? Is the way I would ask it. Like, why wouldn't you deeply think about these decisions and think about what's the best decision for me? I've decided to change my destiny. And if you're successful, I decided to change the destiny of my future generations. So if you made that decision, why would you, on any minor decision, not think about it carefully and not analyze the people you get in business with? So that's all I would ask you to consider, or anybody considering those, is, and I know most people don't think that seriously about. They think they're just on the seat of their pants. Most people don't think that, hey, most people don't think that the decision for them to become a trader and to go down the trading path and to start research trading and watch all these YouTube videos, read all these books, join trainings and everything else, they don't consider this like a destinational change to their life. But it can be. It should be. Because you're participating in one of the most purest form of capital, of gaining capital there is. What I mean by that is, yeah, you might say that speculation is bad, right? But as far as pure, if you're money focused, if you're focused on making money, there's hardly too many other things in life that are this close to purely capital acquiring, meaning that you can start a business. You start a business so you have a bunch of other pieces of things you need to deal with: customer service, creating a quality product, doing this, doing that, innovation, support, So technically you are starting a business when you become a trader, but it's only you in the market. You don't have customers. You don't have customer support. You don't have employees. You don't have to deal with all that crap. It's just you in the market. Like, there's no other purest way to get capital outside of, doing something that, risks your freedom that exists. Maybe there is. People name some things. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But, so to me, if you decided to become a trader, you've decided on a destinational change in your life. Because it has that potential. And not only that, if you get good at it, you've potentially created a generational change in your family. To me, that's powerful. Yeah. The other problem I do have with those firms is that you have to trade within their kind of rules, like you said, Nathan. So I'm not attacked. Like I said, it sounds like I'm attacking it. I more want you to think critically about, like, if you want to become a trader, is that the best path? Is that the smartest path? That's all I would say. That's all I got to say about that. I do need a soundboard because I need just to entertain myself during this stuff. Yes, I'm fading the market again, but I also have my orders in for longs. We are fading it, but it is lunchtime. I do probably need to take off at noon and then come back at trade the close. I mean, I'll be as usual. If you're new here, you want to join Discord, down below. Because I trade when I'm off stream, and I share levels and things off stream that I'm looking at. And then, I don't overtly say enter trades, but then I share, hey, I entered the trade at the level that I just shared 12 minutes ago. And, we're up $1,000 or something, right? So that's how it works in my Discord. I don't say, oh, awesome trade. Oh, I did last night. I actually shared a trade. I tested something. I'm testing quasi signals. We'll call them quasi signals. So here's what I shared last night. This is what I would consider a quasi signal. And it actually transpired. Actually was a good trade. I shared an overnight trade. Here's what I shared last night. I call these quasi signals. That's what I shared last night. That signal actually hit. Yeah, I guess the question, I know. So from a seasoned trader, but I guess I would, if I was starting out as trading, well, I did look at these things when I started out. Not the problem in the forex market. Those things, because forex is such a different market and it's regulated so differently. Those things are actually rampant challenges, is the word I would use. Rampant. The actors in the forex market, it's the same actors from 10 years ago that got slapped. It's the same people. They're just recycling the same thing. It's just like these internet marketers. All the internet marketers that I used to, the top ones that I could name that I know, they're suddenly experts in Chat GPT. Suddenly. I don't know how it happened, but suddenly they're experts in ChatGPT. I mean, I've been using ChatGPT for over a year. I've been testing other various AI models to duplicate myself in AI. So I'm on the path to trying to duplicate myself in AI. And so so that's one thing I like, an example of things I don't share. Yeah, and Forex is always like that. Forex is always kind of more of the Wild West from the trusted markets, from the what's the word I'm looking for? From the perspective of what would be a regulated market, FX is always going to be more of a Wild West type of situation. Because retail has no space in Forex. There's no value retail adds to Forex. There's no market reason for retail to be in Forex except for pure speculation. No, I agree. It is. I'm not trying to talk you out of it or make you feel bad for going down this direction or anything. I understand the attractiveness of it. I get it. I just, I'm asking you to think critically about it, because I believe that your decision to make trading, the fact that you're on the stream, shows me that you actually want trading to be a change in your life, a change in your financial life. So, okay, well, then I'm assuming you're taking trading just as seriously as I take it. I know my avatar's a dog, and I know I joke around a lot, or but I take this shit seriously. This isn't just playing around. My nephew's going to be an elite trader. You're gonna see him grow into an elite trader. I don't know how much more serious that gets when I start involving other family members in what I do. They say don't get in business with family. Well, I'm involving another family member in what I do, but I have full confidence in his ability and his ability to do it. So I guess I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you. I'm not. I'm just more I've been in the market since 2000. So I've been trading. I've been trying to trade since 2016. I've been. Oh, look at that CL trade. Booyakasha. I think we need to get out of this NQ trade because I don't know where it's going. I can't get a feel for it. So CL might sell off here, but it hit a level and might spike. Might take us out. All right, so CL we're up about 660 right now. I should be patient with CL. CL, you man, you make it hard for me to be very patient with you at times. One of these days, I should just take delivery of the oil. I don't know where I will put all those barrels of oil. One of these days, I should just take delivery. Yeah. I mean, it's more intellectual. I mean, yeah, it's an intellectual conversation, but no, I'm having a real conversation with you, meaning like I'm treating you as if you were an alpha member in my training, right? And like an alpha member came in the den and said, hey, I'm looking at, we have alpha members that are doing this right now. So I've already kind of had these conversations. So, but I'm treating like you're an alpha member in my den. You're already in my training. You're already adopting my system. And I'm just speaking to you as I would an alpha member and saying, hey, dude, here's some things to think about. You know, I'm not going to like, I don't want you to feel bad for, you know, going down that path or, you know, like I'm saying that, hey, you're a bad person. It's just more just, like I said, I've been trying to trade since 2016 and then profitable from like 2017, 2018, late 2017. And then, so I was in the FX debacle of that time when those various FX accounts went belly up and I lost my accounts. I've been through the FX phase of CFDs. I've been through the CFDs. I've been through all of crypto and all the CFDs. I've been through the ICOs. I've been through, you know, so it's like, you know, and you've never seen me push ICOs, you know, you never see me push. I mean, I pushed Cake DFI for a while, but then, meaning that I shared it and I shared that I was doing it, but then it got to a point where I felt it was too risky and I stopped talking about it. So, because I realized that I have the ability to get into those things and then get out, like when I think that, oh, this is a little frothy, like it's getting a little frothy around these parts. I have that ability to get out where I don't know. So we're in this CL or this GC position and it's checking the RDA on chart 2, but I just don't like it. I don't like what it's doing. I don't like the hourly there. That's kind of like a, you know, the best trade is to wait for the hourly test at 2017. So I got out of that trade for $100, $150 loss. We're up about $1,000 on the CL trade. We've got a level here right around $80 on CL. So black gold, oil. I'm going to start trading more of these tickers. Obviously, I've kind of been ignoring them because I'm not, you know, I focus on the NQ because most people, you know, why do I trade the NQ and not the ES? Because the NQ is much better to trade than the ES. If you want to trade something that trades slow and spikes and like kind of like trade CL, trade the micro oil. So I would suggest for any new trader, this isn't trading advice. I know nothing about trading, okay? I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue. But let's just say that I did know about trading. What I would suggest, if you want to trade 2 tickers as a trader, I would suggest the best 2 tickers to trade are NQ and the micro oil, CL, whatever the micro is. I don't remember the ticker right off my head. But why? Well, because number one, no, you're trading the same system, so it's not like you're going to be trading some other random system. You're trading a really highly effective system. But when you're trading oil, you're going to trade a market that trades much differently than the NQ or the MNQ, meaning that it when it moves, it will stall for a while, and then it will move. And then when it moves, it sometimes really moves. And then it stalls, and then it really moves. But the same rules apply. What did I trade there? What was I trading? I was trading a momentum check on chart 2. I'll share it in Trade Room Alpha. Did I have to wait longer? Yeah. So the other benefit that you get if you incorporate CL into your trading is you get the benefit of trading a ticker that ultimately trades a little bit differently, quite differently than the actual NQ. So it increases your ability to grow patience. It's also frustrating because oftentimes you'll see me even now, say, oh, geez, I just, if I would have just waited on CL, that thing moved in the direction I expected. All right, so now we're getting our first test here on NQ. We do have maybe an early confirmation on the long side. We do need to be a little mindful of that it is about to be the hour close, so about the noon close, and that's where I'm going to kind of end the stream for now, and I'll come back in about an hour. I just need a break to go get some food, go get some stuff. RSI. Yeah, I have a Rex Dog RSI. One of the best indicators. I mean, I don't know, the whole system's awesome. But I have a Rex Dog RSI. So someone asked in Discord my RSI. So yeah, I have a Rex Dog RSI. It's an awesome indicator. Yeah, no, so thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. No, I just, look, I want traders to I really would like traders to think from the perspective that you've made a life-altering decision when you've decided to become a trader. And then operate from that perspective. Because if you operate from that perspective, then you're going to have the right mindset to actually be in the marathon and not just look at it as a sprint. Like you're going to look at it from, okay, this is a life-altering decision. I've changed my destiny. Now I need to get up every day and I need to do the tiny steps to change that destiny, to take it to the next level. Yeah, there's no real trade here. The trade probably is, yeah. So I'll leave. We'll leave the session here. We'll come back. I'll come back probably around 13:15. But then really the trade that exists right now on the table for let's go around the charts. The NQ. Well, we're obviously at the first check, the first momentum check for the day, on the fast moment. Not really the first. The best trade for the day is right around 113. That's the best trade that exists for that. I don't really want to get out in front of the buyers here because they're doing a momentum check on the index, but that would have been a great short right there. Right here would have been a great short. Shorting up here would have been a great short because now it's lost the RDA. But the best trade is to potentially wait for a 114 zone right at this level here, and then talking while this trade is probably unfolding before my eyes. Yeah, damn it, Jim, didn't get picked up on the short. CL is probably going to take me out too. I'm just going to wait for a momentum check and wait for a bias check on this trade here. Yeah, got taken out on that CL trade. I don't want to chase this trade because we got a level right here. We've got a level right around 129. Yeah, I don't want to chase this trade. Damn it, but I missed it. Damn it, I was talking and I missed the trade. That's something I would have executed on right away. Next trade, where's the next trade? The next trade that exists is right around 117. So that's the next trade, the long side. Don't know if we'll be able to trade down to there because I'm not going to chase the trade at this point in time. But that's the next trade. 117 zone. It's a big order, but if you really wanted to trade this correctly, probably need to plan to scale in all the way down to 0.94. It's a big range to scale in. But that's how you're scaling into that. This is how you're scaling into this. If you really wanted to trade this correctly. As far as what I mean from, what am I saying? From the thesis of the perspective that, okay, what is the market trying to do before the end of the day? The market's trying to recapture the NDX open at 1306, 1306, 086, sorry, 13086. Now you might be saying, well, look, if you're new, I'm going to share this chart again. If you're new, during the cash market, see, you could not, here's the other thing. You don't have to do this 2-chart setup that I have here, meaning that you don't have to track the index. You could just trade the chart itself. I feel there's additional edge for me to track the index, so I track the index. But you don't have to. There's days where I've never looked at it, and I've done very well. So you don't have to track the index. It's not necessary. It's not required. It's not something you have to do. But does it provide additional edge? I believe it does. That's the left chart that you see there. That's the left chart. That's the index. And if you look at that closely, you'll see that the numbers are different. The numbers are obviously right now, the NQ is at 130, and the index right now is at 3019. So those are different, obviously. Yeah, I should have sold that. So pissed I didn't sell that. Yeah, I guess I could have got in. I just didn't want to chase the trade. So we'll wait for this level check here at 123, 177, 117. That's scaling in all the way down to the RDA. Now, what's the thesis of that trade? The thesis of that trade is the daily open, or the weekly open, is going to be captured. And for those that are wondering, the weekly open is that orange line that's above there. And then that 0 to 100%, that's alpha analysis. So, so the thesis, and I'm going to have to jump off here, but the thesis for the end of day trade is, damn it, wants to take out the weekly open, orange line. That's the thesis for the day. I mean, right now that we're operating on, because it's so close. So that's you know, I've shared this. There's 3 questions in trading. You want to break it down? There's 5 questions in trading. There's only 5 questions you need to know. Does anybody want to know those 5 questions? We'll see if people are actually paying attention. I'll share the 5 questions. They're really easy. Most members should know what the 5 questions are. Boom. So, all right. Waiting to get picked up. I almost want to stream this just to get picked up. Just because oftentimes what happens is off stream I get picked up on things, and then I come back and I'm like, hey, I'm up bigly. I didn't get picked up on that first position, that first touch, but it's not quite there on the index yet, so we'll go down to the level. We'll actually wait for the level to touch. I can cancel all my offers because those are no longer valid. Didn't touch the official index and didn't touch the official zone, the RDA. Because on the index you got the RDA and you got the other thing there, so we're going to be a little bit less aggressive on this entry. Going to wait for an overshoot. Because it looks like it wants to go down more. Maybe on the stream, when I come back, I'll share the 5 questions that you need to know when trading. There's only 5 questions in trading. The scaling doesn't look quite good on the 60. That's the problem. Scaling on the 60 needs to look down to here. All right, that's my entry. For those that are new, what you want to do is you want to join Discord down below, or Telegram down below as well. And if you want to learn more about the trade system, send or ready to get started, send me a DM, send an email. I'll share my scale-in entries here on the long side. We might have missed the entry. Well, no, I don't think so. I think the index is going to go on one more level, one more push down. I think the index will go down one more push down. So that's kind of our scale-in model for scaling into the long trade. And when you scale in effectively, a lot of your positions probably shouldn't get picked up. So I don't know if this one here. So that was a level check. That was a pretty strong level check. That was the trade to do, was basically trade that level check. And this actually might be what the market will use to actually go up. So that's something to watch. But I'm going to do an overshoot sell here. So we're going to sell here.
Order filled.
Damn it. Stupid market. What I mean by that is I wanted to get off stream and go get some food and take a break. But the market is forcing me to trade. It's not forcing me to trade, but it's creating the zone to buy or sell in right here. So So this fade trade is basically a chart 2 control. Members alphas chart 2 control. So it's fade C2 control. Down to NDX momentum checks. Basically, if you look at this, then it's going to sell off. It's going to hit the RDA and the slow momentum on the index. That's what I'm trading. So, and then if that's going to happen, then this level that was just hit is this level, the 1, 2, 3 level correlates with the level that's on the index. I know I'm talking like high level, but most people that are trading the system should be able to follow this pretty simply.
Order filled.
Ah, damn it. Fucking A. An idiot. I'm fading the market when I probably should have been just buying at that level check. Waiting for like the perfect trade to unfold. I don't know yet if that's what's going to transpire, but we're going to put in trailing stops here. And this is exceeding it, and it either is going to sell off here or it's going to come out and take me out. So my trailing stops are at the extreme band. So I should probably add to the short here. Call bluff on the market.
Order filled.
So I'll do that. Call bluff on the market. I mean by that is it's not going to rip up. You know. Which. We don't know yet. Still might. Which it did. It kind of did move in my favor there a little bit. But. So. This would look like a. The challenge is we're kind of in a changeover state on the market. So. This might be the changeover. But I'm calling the bluff on the changeover there. And it doesn't look like it's going to be. Looks like the market's going to call my bluff and take me out. Possibly. Calling the bluff that basically that level's not going to be closed above, but fuck you. Ah, you little bastard. Yeah. Fading the market. Oh, that's the last fade I can do. Can't do any more fades. So I can't fade the market anymore. That sucks. Sucks for me. All right, I got to take a break. Now that I'm out, I got to take a break. I think it's now, maybe if it recaptures 1340, then it's going to go up. So I should have been long. I should have just friggin' done the level test like an idiot. Once again, didn't do the high probability trade. I did the fade trade. Yeah, so stupid. Look at that level test. Like I'm going to share this. I'm going to go and then I'm going to share this in Trade Room Alpha. Once again, that's the problem of me being a fader. I fade too much. And like, so like, look at that. Look at that level test. It's like friggin' perfect. Perfect level test. But no, I like to fade the market. So I'm fading the market. And then, probably still will move in the direction I expect here. Maybe. But, yeah, that was stupid. All right, I need a break. I'll be back in probably about an hour. See everybody. Everybody join Discord. If you haven't joined Discord, join the other things. Subscribe, like here. I look forward to seeing you in the next stream. Everybody, hope you're doing great trading. See you in a little bit.